decisive in terms of who wins the group, who finishes runners-up, and indeed who actually manages to qualify out of what is a really difficult group where only the top two go through to the knockout stages of the Euros.
Yeah, I mean, there is so much excitement around Lauren James, and I think there was a little bit of nervousness as well as, will she be back in time, will England have her available, because I think she offers so much. In my opinion, I think the last player that gave the same excitement of this was a big Kelly Smith, in the sense of, you know, she's a match winner, you know she can pick the ball up, edge of the box, and she can put it in the top corner, you know she can beat 3 or 4 players, and I feel like a lot relies on her shoulders. But I think necessarily beforehand in tournament she hasn't necessarily dealt with that in the best way, but I think now she understands how much of a key player she is for England, and I think everyone would just be excited to see her on the pitch.
As for Jamaica, well, they are missing some big players. No Khadija Shaw, their captain, their record goal scorer. No Becky Spencer. We've had her on 5 Live as a guest this afternoon. Tottenham on loan at Chelsea for the second part of this season. No Drew Spence of Tottenham either. But a chance for others to impress as they build up to key World Cup qualifiers for them this autumn. One player who may well catch the eye is Kiki van Zanten. She plays in the NWSL for Houston Dash, so at a very high level she is a real threat going forward. But it will be England to get us underway as the players take the knee at the start of this match. The message against racism still clear. Alessia Russo it is who stands over the ball. The blue number 23 on her back. As chants of England rise all around us here in Leicester. And here we go then, England against Jamaica, the first meeting between these sides in their history in the women's game. And Karen, what are the key things that you want to see from this England side this evening?
I really want to see them play with a lot of confidence, you know, get higher up the pitch. But what I'm expecting from this Jamaican side is to be quite central, make it difficult for England to play through. So I think they need to be tidy on the ball, move it quickly, and see how creative they can be in a low block situation.
We'll take you through the full lineups in a moment, but England in possession here with Keira Walsh. Forward to Georgia Stanway. Again, all eyes on her. She hasn't played 90 minutes yet since making her comeback from that lengthy spell out with a knee injury. But good to see her starting once again for the Lionesses. Here is the captain, Leah Williamson. England playing from left to right in this first half here on BBC Radio 5 Live and BBC Sounds, as it's picked up by Beth Mead. Out to the left-hand side she goes. Just too much on it for Lauren Hemp. And the ball goes out of play for a Jamaica throw deep in their own territory. So England with Hannah Hampton in goal. The back four of Lucy Bronze, Leah Williamson the captain, Alex Greenwood and Jess Carter. Ahead of them, Keira Walsh and Georgia Stanway, with Beth Mead, Ella Toone and Lauren Hemp supporting Alessia Russo up front, as the ball is won by England for a throw over on that far side, deep inside Jamaica's half. It's Jess Carter who takes it all the way back to Alex Greenwood, who will, you would think, very much be Leah Williamson's regular centre-half partner in the absence of Millie Bright for this tournament, making herself unavailable, saying she wasn't in the right place mentally and physically, and indeed has had minor knee surgery since withdrawing herself from selection for the Euros. But she will be a big miss. Captained England to the World Cup final a couple of years ago, and would have been certainly one of the first names on the team sheet as the ball goes out of play for a Jamaica throw. Jamaica, who have Leah Brooks in goal, only made her debut back in December. This is her 5th cap for Jamaica. The back four of Tiffany Cameron, who can often play further forward but is playing a little bit further back today. Sisters Chantal and Alison Swaby. Alison Swaby, the Jamaican captain, and Amelia Van Zanten. Ahead of them, Naima Ingleton and Atlanta Primus, one of those who plays in England, as does Alison Swaby and Chantal Swaby. And Kiki Van Zanten, Shady, Adam Malekun and Cameron Simmons supporting Kayla McKenna up front. Several of the Jamaica players born in England have played for England at youth international level and now plying their trades for Jamaica. As England in possession, goalless, 2.5 minutes gone here, as it's picked up by Keira Walsh. Plays it forward to Georgia Stanway, out to the right hand side now, and Beth Mead. Lucy Bronze has got forward, but it's well intercepted at the back by Jamaica and cleared long downfield by Amelia Van Zanten. Picked up by Leah Williamson and all the way back to Hannah Hampton. Karen Bardsley.
I think already, look, you've mentioned Hannah Hampton. She's got a great start position that keeps her centre back pairing and a back line nice and high.
As England break down that right hand side, but the ball won't be reached by Ella Toone, and an early touch for Jamaica's Leah Brooks in goal.
And I think that just gives, obviously, the midfield the attack a little bit more opportunity to be more dangerous in more positive areas higher up the pitch.
Here comes Jamaica looking to win the ball on the halfway line with Cameron Simmons, but it's picked up by Kira Walsh out to the left-hand side, and Jess Carter will play it forward. Here goes Lauren Hemp. Ella Toone is asking for it. Ella Toone gets it just outside the penalty area. Down the left-hand side, England go. Slightly loose touch over on that far side by Georgia Stanway. And the ball goes out of play for an England throw, taken quickly by Jess Carter. Still goalless, 4 minutes gone here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds as Carter picks it up on the left-hand side and plays it back to Alex Greenwood. Plenty of possession for England. You would expect that. They are the favourites in this game. It's all about finding those connections, finding that team performance and perhaps those individual performances as well, as players look to give Serena Wiegmann the right kind of headaches when it comes to selection. Here goes Jess Carter into the penalty area, and it's deflected behind. Good save by Leah Brooks with that outstretched black boot. Really good run and cut inside from Jess Carter behind for an England corner.
And I love the fact that Jess Carter feels so confident that she can get forward. She's made a great out to inside run. The ball was naturally intended for Lauren Hemp, but Jess Carter receives it and sees a gap in the opportunity. A little 1-2 into the area and forces a great save from the Jamaican goalkeeper.
It's a really good stop, isn't it? And a fifth cap sticks out that left boot as England swing the corner to the edge of the penalty area. Toone will play it in. Jamaica make first contact. Ella Toone will look to pick it up again. When we talk about players wanting to give Serena Wiegmann the right kind of headaches, Carter's certainly doing that. Nice little back heel from Toone there. Hemp driving towards the area. A bit of hesitancy in the Jamaica defence, but in the end the ball bounces all the way through to Brooks. But I guess that's one thing I'll bring you in, Julie Flaherty, on this, that, you know, Niamh Charles is a player that we know can get forward, and Jess Carter showing Serena Wiegmann, well, hang on a minute, I can do that too.
Yeah, I think it's really important as well for Jess Carter that, you know, if she's free and she hasn't necessarily got a player because that player's dropped back, to get forward as well and go and help Lauren Hemp out there, whoever is out in the wide area, go and help and be that support. And it was impressive with the pass to move. She didn't just stand still after she passed it, she moved and got the second ball. So Jess Carter's got that in her locker all day long, so I know England wanting to see more of that.
Jamaica in possession, but it's given away by their captain Alison Swaby. Plays for Crystal Palace, relegated from the WSL this season, but one of these in the Jamaica side who, as we say, are missing some really big players, who has a lot of domestic experience at top level. She's played top flight football in the USA, in France and Italy, and a centre-half partner of her sister, Chantal Swaby, for Jamaica this afternoon. Here are England's 0-0, 6 minutes gone, and it's the final friendly for the Lionesses before they begin that European Championship campaign. They've lost possession on halfway. Here goes Cameron Simmons out to the left-hand side, and Adam Alaken plays it back to Amelia Van Zanten, and Jamaica just enjoying a little spell of possession as they steer it all the way back to their goalkeeper, Leah Brooks, who plays college football in the US, as several of these Jamaica players do. What a stage this is for her to be competing for a national team, as Leah Williamson heads that ball away from Jamaica's number 9, Kayla McKenna, and it's steered all the way back to Hannah Hampton in the sunshine in bright orange. Plays the ball out to this right hand side, and Leah Williamson square once more to Alex Greenwood. And that's one thing as well, Gilly, as a former centre half, looking at how this partnership between Williamson and Greenwood is going to develop. Of course, they played together, you know, so many times, but it's going to be a key partnership for this tournament.
Yeah, it's going to be huge, and just even watching it, you see how high Lucy Bronze wants to get, you see how high Jess Carter wants to get. Those two have a huge role in making sure that they secure McKenna today, and obviously in the tournament that's the case, because that's when the forward is most dangerous, when you're in possession, because you're leaving yourself 2v1.
Oh, nice little chip ball by Lauren Hemp, looking for Georgia Stanway. It's cleared away at the back by Chantal Swaby and goes out of play for an England throw. Interesting to see Stanway popping up on the wing a few times in these early stages, just trying to pull that Jamaican defence out of position.
Some really nice rotation with Ella Toone and Stanway, just, yeah, as you say, getting in that wide area, but also Beth Mead on the opposite side dropping deep, allowing Lucy Bronze for the overlap.
It's good work by Jamaica as they look again for the run of their striker Kayla McKenna, but just too much on that ball down the right hand side, and Hannah Hampton has it for England, 0-0.
I think that's the danger really from Jamaica, isn't it, playing on the transition. As you know, Beck said earlier, they are such a powerful and quick team that they'll punish you, and you have to be tidier on the ball, and we've seen some shaky passes.
There you go, England, can they be tidy on the ball here? It's Hemp, well intercepted by Swaby, but Hemp has it once more, and now Russo, can she get the shot away? Not quite, comes out to the edge of the area. And the ball is driven over from just outside the D by Georgia Stanway. Well, we've seen her score from there many times in her career, but off target on that occasion.
Yeah, the pass was just a little bit over-hit, but it falls quite fortunate, I think, for England, and patient build-up just around the edge of the area. But I think the better option from Georgia Stanway was probably out to the right, but she opts for the shot and sailed over the crossbar.
Here you go, Jamaica, but good interception by the England captain, Leah Williamson. Goalless, 9 minutes gone. But England could be in here with Alessia Russo. And Russo goes round the goalkeeper, but she's forced out of the penalty area as she does so. England still trying to keep up the momentum. Mead, back to Russo, goalkeeper now, back on her line. Leah Brooks, who just about did enough there, forcing Russo wide, even though she couldn't get the touch. And England have the ball on the right-hand side, hugging that right-hand touchline midway through the Jamaica half as Kira Walsh now plays it into the area. England have a player down inside the box under the challenge of the Jamaica captain Alison Swaby. Nothing doing as Georgia Stanway went down. A few boos around the King Power, but our referee from Germany is unmoved as England continue to come forward as Toon lets fly, and that does find the back of the net. Clint's fist from Ella Toon. It's a lovely hit. And England lead by a 0-0.
And just listen to that roar. Toon rings out across the King Power. It's a really well-taken goal from Ella Toon. I think she needs that for her presence in the team, the confidence as well. But stuck from the edge of the area. It's almost a bit of a knuckleball, Vicky, isn't it? It just kind of dips as it flies past Leah Brooks in the Jamaican goal. It's good build-up, finding the gaps in between the Jamaican ranks, and listen, Georgia Stanway knows an opportunity. Ella Toon knows her opportunity when she sees it and absolutely makes the most of it, doesn't she, Gilly?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great strike. Don't seem like it's necessarily that powerful though, but I think it's just the precision. She sort of bends it round. The keeper's actually, I think it takes a slight deflection, but you know that Ella Toon's got that in her locker as well. She just saw Georgia Stanway do it. She said, hold on a minute, Georgia, let me show you how it's done. I'll put the ball in the back of the net, but I think that's huge for her as well.
So Jamaica get us back underway. Applause from Serena Wiegman, watching on in the technical area. As you say, Gilly, it did take a little deflection. It's what seems to have beaten goalkeeper Leah Brooks. But it is definitely Toon's goal as Jamaica win possession and then give it away immediately just outside their own penalty area. England leading by a 0-0 in this, their final friendly before they begin their European Championship campaign, looking to retain that trophy as Jess Carter plays the ball into the area, deflected behind for a corner. She's looking lively, Carter.
She really is. As Gilly mentioned earlier, that overlapping roll from Jess Carter here. She's just on the inside now, just finding the underlap. Again, creating some nice little wide combinations. Looking very, very dangerous. Very, very keen to get her name in the starting 11 come July 5th.
Yep, left back is one of those positions where Serena Wiegman, you feel, is going to have to make that final decision. Will it be Carter? Will it be Charles? Ella Toon, England's goal scorer here in Leicester, picks up the ball, little back heel by Beth Mead, finds Toon once more, then Hemp plays it in. It's blocked away by Jamaica. England trying to get on it once more. Good tenacity by Mead and Hemp between them. Jamaica get the foot in and might be able to play it up towards halfway, but instead they're just going to slow the play down, and that is wise. Now they've lost it, and Russo picks it up. Here is Hemp, left-hand side. England leading by a 0-0 here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Pull back to Kira Walsh once more, out to the left, and Jess Carter plays it forward again. Good interchanging of positions from England as Jamaica get the foot in, and it's cleared away by Chantel Swaby. But Jamaica so deep now, the golden shirts dropping deep to try and resist this relentless pressure from the Lionesses, who lead by a 0-0. Here is Hemp, left-hand side, approaching the penalty area. Checks back and lays it off to Kira Walsh. Nice little dink ball through to Georgia Stanway. Chips the ball across, and it's just over the head of Beth Mead, who was waiting. Lucy Bronze will collect it. The Lioness is really getting into their stride here in Leicester, as Beth Mead has it. Plays it forward to Bronze once more. Right-hand side. Lovely little interchange of passes, but Jamaica make the interception, and it's played forward to Adam Alakin, but she's lost it. And Ella Toon plays it into the penalty area. Last-ditch defending. Chantal Swaby with a swipe manages to clear the ball away out for an England throw.
It's given Ella Toon a real lift, that goal has. She's just buzzing now in and out of the area, trying to make something happen, trying to really unpick this low Jamaican block.
So throw to England deep in Jamaica territory. Here is Lucy Bronze, plays it forward to the goal scorer Ella Toon, who swings it in. It's over the head of Lauren Hemp and her covering defender Tiffany Cameron as well, and bounces all the way out of play for a Jamaica throw deep in their own territory. Just going back to Jess Carter and that battle with Niamh Charles for the left back position. We were at the press conference at St George's Park yesterday, where Carter, as one of the players who plays in the NWSL over in America, was talking about how those players have joined up a little bit later with the England camp because they're currently mid-season. And she was asked by one of the reporters, did you feel like when you came back that you'd have to impress Serena Wiegmann a bit, because of course other players have had a few days to really show what they can do in training? And she said, well, not until I went into training on Monday, and it was at such a high level that I suddenly thought, I better make sure that I'm right up at this level. But it's an interesting balance, isn't it, as Jamaica when it's just outside the centre circle, because yes, they haven't had those few extra days to impress, but clearly whatever she's done has impressed enough to get a start. And they're mid-season with the NWSL, the likes of Esme Morgan as well in that camp, and that is and can be so key, Karen.
No, I think it can be a little bit jolting when you're obviously playing mid-season in a different type of style against a different type of opponent, because I think the NWSL is a very physical league in terms of its demands on defenders as well. And listen, the girls here, they're so technical in their ability. Perhaps it's a slightly different performance problem that Jess Carter has come up against, but I think so far she's been absolutely on it. She looks really, really good down that left-hand side. 15
minutes played, England leading by 1-0. Thanks to Ella Toon's effort from just outside the D. A little deflection on the way through, but it was still a lovely strike from Toon, who again is one of those players looking to stake her claim for that number 10 role. And that is a really interesting decision for Serena Wiegmann. And I think, although we didn't see any rotation in the starting lineup at the Euros 3 years ago, we might possibly see a little bit there, because if you play the likes of Grace Clinton, somebody like that can drop forward and make it a 3 at times. Of course, Toon can do that too, as England play the ball into the penalty area. Nice little control by Russo, and Walsh plays it forward, laid off by Hemp and curled over the top from 25 yards from Keira Walsh. Well, she did finally get that first England goal that she's been waiting for so long, back in April against Belgium. Serena Wiegmann actually saying, look, we want her to shoot more. She's got a good shot on her.
No, she does. And I remember seeing that goal for the first time, and I actually couldn't believe that it was her first goal for England, because I think, when I played together with her at City, she was always kind of being compelled by other people to shoot at the edge of the area, because she knows, we know that she's so talented. She can really, really strike a great ball, and it's nice to see her getting higher into a more dangerous position, I think, for England.
England in possession with their captain Leah Williamson out to the left-hand side, and here is Alex Greenwood, plays it forward, laid off by Georgia Stanway, but the ball will spin away from Jess Carter, who raises a thumbs up as a thanks for the effort. And it is a Jamaica throw midway through their own half. So England's opening game of Euro 2025 against France, as we say, 6 days time, as England come forward once more. Here's Beth Mead, can't keep hold of it in the penalty area. Russo takes over, lays it off to Stanway, and now Keira Walsh wants more bronze and a bit of space. She looked up in frustration as she wasn't selected there. Hemp might try and find her. It's a low delivery in, cleared away by Chantal Swaby, England corner. So yes, it will be live on 5 Live, 8 o'clock on Saturday. Keep across all the build-up on the Football Daily podcast. We will be in Switzerland for that huge game, and what is a really, really challenging group. Only the top 2 go through to the knockout stages. You've got France, you've got the former European champions, won it under Serena Wiegmann in 2017, the Netherlands, and Wales, of course, another home nation, making their major tournament debut. As England have a corner, looking to double their advantage here in this friendly against Jamaica. It's swung in high from the left-hand side, headed back across goal. Jamaica get the foot in and manage to clear up towards halfway, but Kiki van Zanten will eventually latch onto it. Now, we earmarked her as a potential threat for Jamaica going forward. This is her first real chance to run at the England defence. She's done well into the penalty area. Jess Carter's holding her up here. Van Zanten still going forward, manages to get the delivery across. It gets a nick off Carter, goes behind for a corner, and the Jamaica fans over on the far side, who were in a perfect position to see Kiki van Zanten race down that right-hand side, waving the green, black and gold flags and really cheering one of their players who they hope will be able to make an impression against England here today.
And that was great patience, I think, from Jess Carter. We're just seeing back again Kiki van Zanten, obviously playing for Houston Dash, incredibly physical, incredibly quick. Jess Carter will be used to seeing that week in, week out.
And it's her sister, Amelia van Zanten, who's gone over to take the corner from that far side in the sunshine. Plenty of height forward from the back. They play it low. Alison Swaby lays it off. Oh, Hannah Hampson can't keep it out. And Jamaica have equalised. Kayla McKenna is mobbed by her teammates And Hannah Hampton beaten there, and England really did not defend that set piece well at all. It was clever. It was played short to the captain, Alison Swaby, and we're level, 1-1.
And that's really disappointing, I think, from an England perspective. But look at what it means to those Jamaican fans. They're absolutely over the moon. And again, it's just really not dealt with well from England. Really, you should be thinking, I need to be first to that ball, put my foot through it, wouldn't you say, Jilly? But Jess Carter just looks a bit late, not the first to react, and it just goes through bodies and just trickles into the goal off the outstretched foot of Hannah Hampton. Goes through loads of bodies, tough to see. Defender's nightmare, really.
Yeah, I also think as well, I think Beth Mead gets caught. I think she gets caught ball watching, and she's the wrong side of the player. And it's a note. But listen, you're looking at that corner's disappointing in my opinion, because you had Walsh and Carter 2v1 up against Van Santen, who Keir Walsh was a bit hesitant in the sense of she wanted to stay with her, she didn't, and then obviously Jess Carter had to deal with a run. Realistically, if she gets tight to her and stops her from travelling that far, you don't really want the corner happening anyway. But it's poor, I think, from an England point of view, that it's allowed to come in short, and then obviously then players the wrong side of the players.
So England's to get us underway, although hang on, we've got a VAR check here. We do have VAR in this game. Now, what have they spotted here? So England won't get us underway. The German referee Franziska Wildfuhr is over. Now, they're looking for an offside. So it's Kiki Van Zanten. Now, she is right ahead of Hannah Hampton. So the question is here, does Kiki Van Zanten interfere with Hannah Hampton's ability to play the ball there? I mean, Karen Bardsley, you're seeing it as a former keeper, gets a deflection on the way through, but as that shot is taken, and then you'd be looking if it's a deliberate attempt to play the ball, which it's not. So as the shot is taken, is Kiki Van Zanten interfering with Hannah Hampton's ability to play the ball? Let's see. Yeah, there you go. It's not going to be given, and Karen Bardsley.
For me, yes, that's the correct answer. I think you look at Hannah Hampton, she even moves, try to get Van Santen out of the way. She's obstructed her vision and her ability to react. So for me, that's the right decision, but it's a warning sign, isn't it? I think Jilly's absolutely spot on. You know, that corner shouldn't have really been a corner, should have been dealt with much, much better. And England dodged a bullet, in a sense.
Well, a huge disappointment there for Kayla McKenna and Jamaica, but that's why we have VAR, and we have to praise it. Absolutely got that decision spot on. But as you say, the issues for England from defending the set piece are still the same issues. Yes, it was rightly ruled out, but still, England stung. England leading 1-0, looking to reassert their dominance at the other end, but Jamaica with that interception just outside their own penalty area and played forwards. Leah Williamson intercepts ahead of Kayla McKenna, who was one of the squads that made history at the World Cup a couple of years ago, reaching the last 16 for the very first time. She should have gone to the World Cup in 2019 as well, but had to pull out with a knee injury after being named in the squad. So huge moment for her to be involved a couple of years ago, as it was for the entire Jamaica squad. First World Cups in their history, 2022 and 2023, I should say, in 2019, as England come down the left-hand side, leading by a goal to nil, but having had that scare, that Jamaica goal rightly ruled out for obstruction of the goalkeeper. As Lauren Hebb comes down the left-hand side, ball across, brilliantly headed up by Alison Swaby. England still trying to get something on it. In the end, it's hacked clear by Atlanta Primus, and England won't pick up possession midway through the Jamaica half. Well, a bit harem-scarum at the back for Jamaica there, but they get away with it, and Leah Williamson in possession just outside the centre circle. Karen Bardsley.
That's what I love about Lauren Hemp. She's so positive, and she looks like she's not missed a beat since she's returned from injury, but she's so confident taking players on 2v1 down that wide area, that left-hand side for England, just cutting on the inside, cutting on the outside, keeps defenders guessing.
England down the left-hand side, leading by a goal to nil midway through this first half here in Leicester on 5 Live and BBC Sounds, as the ball is cleared away at the back by Tiffany Cameron, and then under a bit of pressure Ingleton will turn away and Jamaica try and play it around the back. They've lost possession though, and it's laid off to Georgia Stanway, cuts the ball into the area, cleared away once more by Jamaica, and then they do win the free kick just outside their own penalty area, and a little bit of respite from boos as Atlanta Primus goes down, but our Referee from Germany, Franziska Wildfur, cleared that was a foul on Primus by Beth Mead, and she does just catch it well, not once but twice there from Mead. Tenacious, but not quite in the right way.
I think she knows based on the reaction on her face as well, but I love, as you say, the tenacity in attempt to win the ball back and keep possession in a really dangerous area. I think, listen, they've dodged a bullet. They're going to want to make sure that they stamp their authority in the next 5 or 10 minutes, I think.
So Jamaica, with this goal kick, England leading by a goal to nil in this final friendly before the Lionesses begin the defence of their European Championship crown. 6 days away in Switzerland against France, as Leah Brooks, the goalkeeper, winning her 5th cap for Jamaica today, sends it over the halfway line. It's won by England, and here is Georgia Stanway, plays it back to Leah Williamson. She's well closed down, but will steer it calmly back to Hannah Hampton, and plays it forwards to Kira Walsh. And now Alex Greenwood out to the right hand side as Jamaica get the gold shirts back. They've not always had a smooth relationship, it's fair to say, with their federation. They were disbanded repeatedly by the Jamaican FA as recently as 2016. Bob Marley's daughter Sadella had to step in at one point as ambassador and sponsor after they were disbanded in 2008. But that achievement at the World Cup a couple of years ago, such a proud moment for the nation, reaching the knockout stages. As we say, they are missing some big players today, likes of Khadija Shaw, Becky Spencer, Drew Spence, Taylor Hines as well. Also one born in England, but still trying to sort out a passport for her. Means she can play in these type of games as England build down this left-hand side. Here goes Lauren Hemp. Thought about shooting, tried to cut it in field instead. Gets a deflection and goes behind for an England corner. England leading by a goal to nil. 25 minutes gone on 5 Live on BBC Sounds.
I was just admiring a lovely little pass there from Kira Walsh. Picks the ball up in the midfield and just zips one wide to Lauren Hemp, just looking for a little through ball, I think, from the run of Alessia Russo. Just didn't quite come off, but as you were saying about Jamaica as well, I think they're doing quite well considering the youth that they've fielded at the moment and the fact they've missed so many key players crucial to that success that they had in the 23 World Cup.
So corner to England, looking to double their advantage. Swung in high from the left-hand side. Greenwood's up there, heads it towards goal. It's hacked clear out of the penalty area by Atlanta Primus back there defending. The ball will go out of play for an England throw. It is very warm here in Leicester, although presumably not quite warm enough for a drinks break. You do get those if it's over 25 degrees pitch side. Normally happen around the midway point of the first half, so they might still decide to do one, but so far we continue as Lucy Bronze plays it forward, looking for Beth Mead, who lays it in field to Kira Walsh. Not quite on the same wavelength as Ella Toon. Lucy Bronze racing, busting her gut, trying to keep that ball in, but won't do so. And it's a goal kick to Jamaica.
What I really like as well, I think, with England in this first half is they're not forcing passes as such. They're looking forward and they're moving the ball nice and quickly, but there's movement off the ball, so the passes aren't necessarily going wayward. They're getting on to the end of them, and I think that's a really positive sign from England, because sometimes they can sometimes be a bit stale in that sense and a bit stand stillish, but they've really passed the movement today has been excellent so far.
Jamaica won't keep that ball in over on the far side, and England have a throw with Jess Carter.
I think it's going to be crucial because, as we say, Jamaica have set out to kind of make it difficult, try to be really narrow and compact. For me, I don't think they're really utilising the width as much as they probably should do on this right-hand side, but I actually disagree with Jilly. I think there's been a few wayward passes from Lucy Bronze, maybe Ella Toon to start with, but there's just not really been much of a threat from the likes of Jamaica, whereas if it was a better opposition, no disrespect, I don't think you'd get away with that.
Here is Lauren Hemp coming in field to retain possession for England ahead of the Jamaica striker Kayla McKenna, who's had a goal ruled out, rightly so, obstruction by Kiki Van Zanten of Hannah Hampton as McKenna fired that ball towards goal. As England work it nicely, here's Kira Walsh, 30 yards out, plays it into Ella Toon, England's goal scorer. And Toon play it out to this left-hand side, and Jess Carter. It's all very compact and congested in that central area, so Carter works it back to the halfway line, and Alex Greenwood forward now to Georgia Stanway. It's the option of Beth Mead coming short. Instead opts for the England captain, Leah Williamson, Squares it once more to Alex Greenwood inside the centre circle. Out she goes to the left-hand side, and Georgia Stanway, England working hard in possession. Here goes Jess Carter, ball into the area. It's behind Alessia Russo, cleared away by Jamaica on the stretch. And they'll retain possession midway through their own half. Here they go. Here's Kiki Van Zanten. And now this is where Jamaica can get forward. It's almost 4-on-3 here. England getting the bodies back with Lucy Bronze. It's a good ball by Van Zanten. Strong challenge by Jess Carter. Picked up by Kayla McKenna for Jamaica, forced out of the penalty area. It was a good run by Cameron Simmons, who was well challenged by Carter. As Jamaica allow their winger playing it right back, Tiffany Cameron, to get forward. She swings the ball into the penalty area. They've got the gold shirts in there, and the shot in the end is miscued by Adam Alaken, but England can't clear. Here's Adam Alaken again, headed away by Lucy Bronze. Jamaica's best spell of the game really there, but they haven't really been able to get a shot away and test Hannah Hampton in that move. And Lauren Hemp now bringing it away down the left-hand side, and ball goes out of play for an England throw, but that's promising from Jamaica.
I mean, what a tackle, can I just say. Jess Carter, my goodness, last ditch, so well timed. But yeah, you know, we spoke earlier, didn't we, about the threat that Jamaica pose on this counter-attack, and Van Zanten is just so rapid. Kira Walsh can't quite keep up with her. She's got pressure from Lucy Bronze, but in the area, Jess Carter sees an opportunity and absolutely makes a leg-breaking challenge, but really well done, getting all of the ball and sending the Jamaican attacker flying.
England in possession, just outside the centre circle, out to the left-hand side they go, and here goes Lauren Hemp. This is a good run. Hemp chips the ball into the area again, just not quite on the same wavelength as Russo, who comes short. The ball sails over her head, and Jamaica clear away. Gilly, just going back to that Jess Carter tackle, I'm sure you put in a few of those in your time.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10 they might end up being a penalty, but no, I mean, she had to time it really well, but again it just showed how dangerous Jamaica looked on the counter, and it's coming from an England turnover as well, giving the ball away and then not being able to get back quick enough to deal with the situation. Thankfully for Jess Carter, it's a huge tackle from her. And
I said leg break, and I certainly didn't mean it in that way. It was just such a powerful challenge.
Yeah, it was strong, but as Karen says, it was perfectly timed. Really good defending by Jess Carter, and the ball goes out of play deep in Jamaica territory for an England throw. Half an hour gone here in Leicester on 5 Live and BBC Sounds, and it's England who lead by 1-0. Jamaica having a goal ruled out. Kayla McKenna after obstruction by Kiki Van Zanten in the build-up after a VAR review. Right decision from VAR, but it's a really well-worked set piece by Jamaica and not well defended at all by England, as Beth Mead brings it forward. Lucy Bronze, lovely back heel, back to Beth Mead, right hand side, midway through the Jamaica half, cuts it across field to Jess Carter, and now Lauren Hemp picks it up. She's well pressured by Tiffany Cameron. All the way back she goes to Alex Greenwood. Forward now to Kira Walsh. Bit of space here for Lauren Hemp, and Jamaica haven't quite covered that. It was a little strong there for Hemp, but she does keep it in on the left-hand side. Now Cameron comes out to close down the angle, so Hemp back to Carter. Swings the ball in. Bronze is in there. Bronze with the header. England lead 2-0. Really good move from the Lionesses, and a perfectly timed run from Lucy Bronze to nod home from close range. England 2, Jamaica 0.
Fantastic. Again, fantastic forward run from Lucy Bronze, from out to in, really determined to get on the end of it. Wasn't really well tracked by Jamaica, but can I just say, Jess Carter, she's been absolutely outstanding, I think, from front to back down this left-hand side. You know, she receives the ball in the first time pass just into the area and just knows that Lucy Bronze is going to get across her defender, but pinpoint accuracy. Beautiful, beautiful cross from Jess Carter.
Yeah, it's brilliant link-up play from obviously both fullbacks for the assist and the goal, but also from Kira Walsh as well, because when she's getting the ball, sometimes we know Kira Walsh, how much of a technician she is on the ball. She's playing these balls out to Lauren Hemp, where it's the defender don't know whether to go or not, and I think that helps because Jess Carter's higher as well. So then the defender's staying, the ball's just cutting, and obviously again you're able to get forward, but brilliant delivery from Jess Carter, a fantastic finish from Lucy Bronze too.
Former Lionesses Gilly Flaherty and Karen Bardsley here with us on 5 Live and BBC Sounds as Jamaica get us back underway, and the ball is already all the way through to Hannah Hampton. So England 2, Jamaica 0, as we have 13 minutes less added time to play in this first half, and she's just so good at stealing in those positions, isn't she, Lucy Bronze? As Beth Mead wins possession back for England on the halfway line. Jamaica, who had levelled things up at 1-1 before that goal was disallowed after a VAR review, and now under A bit of pressure once again as the flag belatedly goes up for offside against Alessia Russo, but her shot was saved anyway by Leah Brooks. Karen Bardsley.
It's unfortunate. I mean, you can see that Alessia Russo's eyes must have just lit up. She recognized that Brooks was off her line, and I think she was just going to go for a quick finish. But yeah, I think right decision in terms of offsides. But you can see that the Lionesses are starting to kind of give the crowd a little bit more to get excited about, because it has been a bit quiet, hasn't it, for a send-off?
Yeah, they've sold over 28,000 tickets, but it's mainly been a watching brief for a lot of these England fans who are waving their red and white flags with great gusto before the match. But as you say, on this warm evening here in Leicester, England need to do something to give them something to cheer about. And that run and that header from Lucy Bronze certainly did that. Should just mention that a lovely hold-up piece of play by Kaylee McKenna. It's happened 30 seconds or so ago, but Jamaica have lost it. And here go England. Hebb's ball into the area again. It's just ahead of Alessia Russo. Beth Mead will pick it up, just forced out of the penalty area, right-hand side. Pulls it back to Lucy Bronze, who will steer it back in her turn to Leah Williamson. England leading by 2-0 here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. We will have full commentary in 6 days' time of England's opener of Euro 2025 against France. 8 o'clock kickoff live from Switzerland. Do join us for that as England work it down this right-hand side. In field now from Kira Walsh. Nice little interchange of passes with Beth Mead. Walsh cuts the ball back across. Russo gets her feet in a muddle and Jamaica can clear out of the penalty area. But England really pushing for this third goal before half-time. Here's Beth Mead, cuts it back. Will be picked up by Jess Carter midway through the Jamaica half and cuts it back to Alex Greenwood. But again, we're just not quite seeing the connections at the moment with that England attack and Alessia Russo, as Lauren Hemp has the ball and plays it in field to Kira Walsh. Forward now to Ella Toone, who got things underway inside 10 minutes with the opener from a similar position, although she's been forced away from the D now out to the left-hand side. And Jess Carter, who really is playing well for England this afternoon and looking to stake that left-back position. Oh, there could be a penalty there. Referee allows play to go on as England have a player down inside the area. Russo sees the ball steered away from her by Amelia Van Zanten. And it will be an England corner. We do have VAR. Georgia Stanway might have had a slight word with the referee there. Earlier in the move, England had a player go down. Russo just gingerly back up to her feet. As we see a replay as England prepare to take this corner of this chance. It's Hemp that it falls to. In fact, it's a replay of a different option there. But what do we think? Initial thoughts as we now do see a replay of Lauren Hemp going down in the area?
I think that's so clumsy from the Jamaican defender. I just think it's a good ball in from Leah Williamson, but for me, I was expecting that to be a penalty.
It is a corner though, as Lauren Hemp now drives. Oh, it's off the post. She was slipping as she took the shot. Alex Greenwood trying to keep it alive on the edge of the penalty area, but it stays at 2-0 to England for now against Jamaica, but they're still pushing. Here's Georgia Stanway inside the box, pulls the ball across, and little deflection is well dealt with by Leah Brooks, who's having a good game in goal for Jamaica on her 5th cap, but Hemp so unlucky there.
She really was, because she hit as she was kind of falling away from it, but she still hit it quite true, and we were directly behind it, and it just clanked off the post, didn't it? But I thought that was going to nestle in the back of the net. But England are really pushing now, aren't they, Jilly?
Yeah, they really are. And one thing I just wanted to notice is that there's so much rotation going on that there's been a couple of crosses now coming in where Russo's gone and there's no one there locking off the back post where really Beth Mead should be. But where there's so much rotation, whether it's Ella Toone's coming out, you've got Georgia Stanway floating, Lucy Bonds, they have to make sure if they have in that rotation that somebody's locking off the back of the post, because we've had probably about 2 or 3 crosses coming in where there's so much space there but nobody's there to pick it up.
Nice layoff from Russo, comes to Ella Toone, and space now for Lucy Bronze. The 2 goal scorers combining as Bronze into the area. Really good sliding challenge by Kiki Van Zanten there, the forward, pulling off a centre half's trick there. It was a really good interception, goes out of play for an England throw. England leading by 2-0, 7.5 minutes plus added time to play in this first half as Toone plays the ball into the area. Good defending by the Jamaica captain Alison Swaby, just to force Georgia Stanway out of the box as Williamson steers it back to Alex Greenwood. Just in this third of the pitch here at the King Power. And it is in the shade, although it will still be very warm down there pitch side. It is warm in our commentary position as ball is through again to Alessia Russo. Does well there couldn't quite control that ball on the edge of the 6-yard box, so it took her down to the byline, hooks it back across, and it's claimed by Leah Brooks. Just a word on the pitch from both of you, because it's something we mentioned before the game. It has really cut up in places pre-match. We saw all the England players and Serena Wiegman gather around a particular area that's midway through the England half on this left-hand side as we look at it, and Serena Wiegman really didn't look impressed at all about the state of the pitch. But in terms of the quality of play, do you feel it's affected it, or have we seen England been able to get the ball on the deck and play it around pretty well? Karen's thoughts in a moment, because Jamaica have given it away, but it's deflected all the way back through to Leah Brooks. So Karen,
I'm not. It's hard to know really, because there's quite, there's some in wide areas. The midfield looks a little bit choppy, but I don't think it's really affected England too much. We've mentioned a few wayward passes here and there, but on the whole, I don't think it's affected the game terribly. But I mean, the players down there, you're going to have to ask them, I think, post-match. But Gilly, what would you say?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's really affecting England as such in possession. I think it's been fortunate enough that there's been no rain. I think if it had been raining today, it could have had a different situation and different story.
England in possession, leading by 2-0 here in Leicester on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. 6 minutes to go till half-time in this Women's International friendly as Mead into the area, chests it down, off the bar, what a hit from Russo. Oh, that would have been a lovely goal. England still coming. Here's Russo again, that's blocked away by the Jamaica captain Alison Swaby, all the way up towards halfway, where it's collected by Alex Greenwood. What an effort that was from Russo, and for the second time in this half, England leading by 2-0 hit the woodwork. Here goes Ella Toone. Russo once more, really in the mood for a goal, having seen that shot cannon off the crossbar, but she's dispossessed and it will be cleared away by Amelia Van Zanten. Karen Bardsley.
But, I mean, Kira Walsh is getting all over the place. She's pulling out into the left half space, getting on the ball, playing passes, spraying them out wide. And I think, she's finding some really, really great areas for the likes of Alessia Russo, for the likes of Beth Mead. But what a strike from Russo.
Here goes Georgia Samway, laid off to Lauren Hemp. Has also hit the woodwork in this half as her cross towards Russo is headed away by Jamaica, and Kiki Van Zanten again, their attacking player back there defending. It's lost by Jamaica, and Leah Williamson, the England captain, will pick it up as England continue to push for this third goal before half-time here in Leicester. Here's Beth Mead, bit of space down the right-hand side, swung in, almost again for Russo. Met it just inside the 6-yard box and steers it wide at the near post, and it says England 2, Jamaica 0.
And I think that's really clever from England in terms of using the width a lot more. We've seen them get a lot of success because Jamaica are so narrow. But what a great ball in again from Beth Mead. And Alessia Russo unfortunately can't get on the end of it.
Now Jamaica have got a bit of an issue here. It looks like their captain Alison Swaby is down, so the medical staff are on, and the chance for England to come and get a few instructions from Serena Wiegman, who's straight into conversation with the England captain Leah Williamson. Lucy Bronze is there as well. Go on, Gilly, give us your insight as a former centre half. What will she be saying, or what might she be saying to Leah Williamson in particular?
I think it's just about as well making sure that you're looking after the ball in possession, but you're also being switched on to the danger. I know Jamaica aren't necessarily, they've had a few chances as such getting forward, but you still have to be alive to it, because you make the good practices now. Because you're coming up against France, for example, they're going to be dangerous on the attack. You can't afford to switch off. If you've got possession and you've got players bombing forward, you're going to have to make sure. So it's good practices now, even if you're not really being threatened by the forwards, making sure you're locking on, everyone knows who they've got, just in case of a counter-attack.
So Alison Swaby, the Jamaica skipper, still receiving treatment in her own penalty area. 3 minutes to go until half-time. England leading by 2-0. As we say, we will have commentary on 5 Live of their opening match of Euro 2025 in 6 days' time. Saturday the 5th of July against France, live from Switzerland. We also have commentaries from the opening day. It starts on Wednesday. We've got Iceland-Finland on 5 Sports Extra from 5, before Switzerland against Norway on 5 Live BBC One and iPlayer from 8 o'clock. That's this coming Wednesday. And of course, Wimbledon is back. Gigi Salmon and Claire McDonald will be here on 5 Live from 12:30 tomorrow with all the latest action on and off court. Do join us for that. So, England's players still having a few conversations. Lucy Bronze now deep in conversation with Serena Wiegmann, and Jamaica's players coming together and getting a bit of refreshment as well. And now their goalkeeper's gone down, Jamaica. So Alison Swaby is up, with their goalkeeper Leah Brooks is down. Taking advantage, I think, maybe of the medical staff being there. If you've got a slight niggle, you might as well say, actually, could you just have a look at me as well? So, Karen, in terms of this England performance so far, what would you pick out as the highlights, and what would you pick out as the things that England are going to need to work on, not just for this second half, but really going into the European Championships?
No, I think Gilly's hit the nail on the head as well with defensive organisation behind the ball. We touched on it a few times already, but some of the wayward passes have caused England some trouble, and it's because like I said, England have caused their own problems, and it's that organisation. Always thinking from a defensive mindset going forward. You'd think, am I in the right position? What happens if play breaks down? Can I affect this, while you're still trying to play forward? But I think Jess Carter has been a standout for me down that left-hand side for England. She's getting forward, putting good balls into the area. The fact that Walsh looks really, really bright, getting forward into more dangerous positions. But I think Russo, although she's not put one away yet, she's looking really bright in those combinations with Beth Mead as well. That shot that she took off the crossbar, unbelievable.
Well, we say Alison Swaby up to her feet, but only to walk off the pitch. Her game is done. So the Jamaica captain is being replaced by Naya Cardoza. Plays her college football in the US, and that's a real blow for Jamaica. Alison Swaby playing at WSL level this season with Crystal Palace, as we mentioned earlier. She's got loads of top flight experience in the USA and France and Italy. But big moment for Naya Cardoza, and a blow for Jamaica because Swaby played a key part in that disallowed goal for Jamaica, rightly disallowed after a VAR review, but she's been an important presence at the back as well. England leading by 2-0, and Jamaica forced into this change, the first of the game. They can make 6 substitutions. This is a friendly international, and we mention that primarily because it means that if she wants to, Serena Wiegmann can have a look at 6 more players in this final friendly before they begin their Euro 2025 campaign against France. So after all that, goalkeeper Leah Brooks is back up to her feet and sends the ball up towards halfway as we enter 6 minutes of added time. The ball goes out of play for a Jamaica throw just about on halfway. So Jamaica preparing to take this throw. And when you look at that France game, Karen, I mean, we talk about how difficult that group is going to be, but in a way I suppose it does mean that by the time England play the Netherlands in the second group match, they're going to have a really clear idea, with France, Netherlands and England the really big favourites to go through from that group, as England in possession just outside their own penalty area. Depending on that France result in the opener, by the time England play that second game against the Netherlands, they'll have a very clear idea of what they need to do to try and finish in the top so we can get through to the knockout stage. Yeah,
I suppose that's one benefit of having such a tight...
We're trying to look at it in a positive way. I mean, it's not ideal to have 2 really difficult games in the first 2.
No, I think from my experience in the past, playing against the likes of France, they've always been a strong side, and I think, was it Canada 2015, they were our first game as well, and I remember being, quite not, like, I was cautiously optimistic. I knew that it was going to be difficult, but, France is such a quality team. They've just never really been able to get it over the line in terms of winning a major tournament, and I think they're in such fine form, and their attacking threat is just so lethal at the minute. I mean, we've seen Sandy Baltimore, haven't we, at Chelsea this season, and she's been absolutely untouchable, so you know how dangerous they're going to be, and it's a big task to make sure you carry any sort of positive momentum into that opening game.
England's in possession on the halfway line here in Leicester, leading Jamaica by 2-0 in this final friendly before the Euros, as they work it down the left-hand side. Jamaica well marshalled, well organised, trying to stop that England advancement, and do so down the left, but England get a foot in and win it back. Jamaica, though, do the same and play it up to their number 9, Kayla McKenna, but in the end work it all the way back just outside their own penalty area. And it is going to be such a competitive tournament as Jamaica come down this left-hand side. Amelia Van Zanten, first chance for her to really get forward from left back as Jamaica look to get a goal back before half-time here in Leicester. A little bit of a mix-up there with Leah Williamson, and Kayla McKenna putting her under pressure, but does manage to eventually get the clearance away, England. She wasn't quite sure where the ball had gone there for a second, Williamson, and England survived. But yeah, in terms of the competitiveness of the Euros, I mean, you mentioned France rightly, but Germany, Spain, what could the Netherlands do? What about Sweden? 3 years ago it was such a competitive tournament. I think we're only going to see that level once again as England bring the ball down the left-hand side, and Kira Walsh, lovely crossfield ball to Beth Mead, beautiful control inside the penalty area. Mead plays it against her defender Amelia Van Zanten, who stands up well. Mead steers it back to Lucy Bronze, right-hand side, out of the area England are now, but Stanway will cut it into the box. Bronze leaves it, Toon gets the shot away, it's blocked by Jamaica, but they're making a mess of clearing it as Toon goes for the curler. Oh, it's in off the post. Another lovely goal from Ella Toon, sumptuously curled in off the woodwork, and England do get that third goal before half-time. They lead Jamaica by 3-0.
It's slightly clumsy, that combination. I think everyone expected Lucy Bronze to go on the end of that ball into the area from Beth Mead, but no, she left it for Georgia Stanway. She took that touch and then opened up the goal by just going inside a little bit more, shifting the defense, and it's a lovely little finish from Georgia Stanway. She just kind of curls it. Sorry, it was Toon's. Apologies, I thought it was Stanway. Curls it with her left foot, and it's a delightful finish. Really, really well guided into the area from the edge of the box, off the crossbar and across both posts.
It also just seemed to take an age once it left Toon's foot. And I was, at first, when I thought it was going to go to Lucy Bronze, I think it was a bit like, what, has Lucy missed that? But, it's all part of the plan, but it's a great finish again from Toon.
2 goals for Ella Toon. She's on the ball again on a hat-trick here. Unselfish, lays it off to Mead, pulls it across, and in the end Toon's effort is saved by Leah Brooks, but that was more like it from England in terms of the connections there.
No, it certainly was. I think, look, this is, again, we kind of mentioned this at the top of the show, didn't we? It was a big moment for Ella Toon in terms of really taking advantage of the opportunities and the minutes that she's getting. She's a creative player, but the fact that she's adding goals to the game this season, not only for Manchester United but for England, I think it's really, really key going into the Euros, getting that confidence up. As you say, France will be waiting.
Yeah, 8 goals for Manchester United this season, Ella Toon. As the ball is headed on by Kayla McKenna and rolls all the way through to Hannah Hampton. Well, England's 3-0 up against Jamaica, finishing this first half strongly. But yeah, as you say, Karen, that is such a key talking point, the number 10. And I think as well, just generally what Sarina Wiegman wants to do with the midfield against the likes of France. Do you play somebody in an out-and-out number 10 like Ella Toon, or do you ask somebody like her or someone like Grace Clinton just to sit in and provide a little bit more of a 3 almost in midfield? It's interesting that she has gone with this. Yes, Jamaica are different opponents to France, but clearly this is going to be with the European Championship campaign in mind as well, as Jamaica win the ball over on that far side with Cameron Simmons, try and work their way out and do so well under pressure towards the halfway line, and Kayla McKenna, but she's well dispossessed, and Alex Greenwood has it for England, who lead by 3-0 as we play out the final few seconds of added time at the end of this first half. Might be a bit more because of that goal in added time for Ella Toon, so England might get the chance for a fourth here. They have the ball on the left-hand side with Jess Carter. Now here's Georgia Stanway, and Carter into the area, reflects to Russo, and then Mead scoops over the bar, and it got a deflection. She was well blocked off there, Beth Mead, and it will go behind for an England corner, and our German referee Franziska Wildfur has indicated that there will be time to take it. So last chance for England before half-time to get this fourth goal. They lead Jamaica by 3-0. Gilly Flaherty.
I just wanted to make a point as well in regards to Toon, because I think Jamaica, they're making it far too easy in the midfield for her. Atlanta Primus, who's meant to be marking her, just in that build-up, was literally walking as Toon's run past her. So it's going to be a bit of a more difficult test come up against France.
As Beth Mead swings the ball in, it's cleared away before it can reach Alex Greenwood. Jamaica trying to get something else on it to help it up towards halfway, and they do so, and there is the whistle for half-time. Overall, a very satisfactory half for England, lit up by 2 lovely goals from Ella Toon. Lucy Bronze with a super run as well, nodding home from close range. But there have been some real standout performances so far, Karen.
Yeah, it's been a funny first half, I think, but for me, I think the standout has to be Jess Carter down that left-hand side. She's been so good at bombing forward, I think, putting balls into the area, obviously for that Lucy Bronze goal as well, but also putting in crunching challenges at the other end. So yeah, really, she should be very pleased and very proud of her performance today.
Yeah, and I think I'll join Karen as well in regards to saying about the Lauren Hemp. I think she's been brilliant in the wide areas. I think she's created a lot down that left-hand side, especially considering in regards to not as many minutes she's had this season. She's looking on fire, and it's such a positive for England.
Yeah, she really looks like she's never been away, Lauren Hemp. It's easy to forget she's been out for 5.5 months this season with a knee injury. Came back at the end of April and really, as Julie says, has hit the ground running in the last month or so. So far so good for England in this final send-off friendly before the Euros, where they will look to defend that European title at half-time against Jamaica. They lead by 3-0.
Well, the two names I've heard the most of in the last 45 minutes, Gilly and Karen, have been the two players that I think we marked out at the start as maybe having that bit of a question mark over their head. Ella Toone with 2 goals in that number 10 role, and Jess Carter, Karen, on the assist. I was about to say the assist score sheet. She's got the assist, not the score sheet. But last-ditch tackles, foraying up the pitch. But I wonder, does that help Sarina Wiegman, or does it hinder her? Is this selection headache now?
Headaches, isn't it? Yeah, but this is the thing. Aggie Beaver-Jones said, she wants to give the right headaches to the right people, and I think Jess Carter probably had a conversation with her as well, and she's trying to do the same thing, because she's been just great. The physicality to be able to get up and down the pitch against players like these Jamaicans who are really pacey and powerful. She's combined really well with Lauren Hemp, as Julie alluded to earlier as well, creating either an underlap or an overlap. So I think she's been tremendous, I think, for this performance in the first half. But Ella Toone as well, adding a lot of creativity to that midfield. Julie's made a great point around being far too easy for her to get on the ball, but touching on the midfield, I think it's so nice, even though it is maybe a little light in numbers, that there's a lot of different varying profiles in that midfield to choose from.
Do you think watching Ella Toone so far, Gilly, actually that maybe has allayed some people's fears about a slight lack of depth in the midfield for England, because she's shown when you put her on the ball in the right spaces, maybe compared to someone like a Clinton, she creates those goal-scoring opportunities?
Yeah, I think with Ella Toone, even just watching, I think she's always been a very positive player. You can see the link up that she has with Russo as well. They read each other so well. But I think for me, Jamaica in that midfield, I think they've been poor. I think they're being a bit lazy. But the thing is, Ella Toone could have matched that in that sense and been a bit like, do you know what, I'm just going to stand still. But she hasn't. And, she's took advantage of it, and she's not stopped moving, and she's been rewarded with 2 goals in this first half. And she can only do what she play against what she's come up against. Do you know what I mean? So she's had a really good first half.
She also looks quite serious, Karen, I thought, Ella Toone. There wasn't actually a huge amount of celebrating. It was very sort of head screwed on, business-like. Let's talk about Hannah Hampton, though. First half where majority of the time didn't have to do a huge amount. The moment that mattered, that goal from Kaylee McKenna, then ruled out being offside in that obstructed position in front of Hannah Hampton. But have we learned a huge amount?
Sort of, would be my answer. So I think for me, from a goalkeeper's perspective, one of the things I prided myself on most was how I organized my back four from set pieces, how I was always kind of thinking about what happens if the play breaks down, especially against transitional teams like Jamaica. So I would think, okay, I need to make sure everyone has, an understanding of what their role is and what it is that they need to do. I'll make those first contacts. Everyone's constantly being switched on. That's my job as a goalkeeper. And if I think anyone's unsure, I'm going to tell them. And I'm also going to command my area. So those are the types of things that I would be expecting to see from the likes of Hannah Hampton. But it's a funny atmosphere, I think, at this game as well. It's kind of, I don't want to say melancholy. It's just a bit more quiet than I maybe would have expected. And it just is easy to fall into a lull when maybe the crowd's not into it and you've not really had much to do. But you always have to be switched on as a goalkeeper.
Well, it's England 3, Jamaica 0 at half-time. Second half commentary to come. I wonder if we'll see any changes as well from manager Sarina Wiegman. We've seen Lauren James warming up a little bit throughout this first half. Don't forget, though, we have got commentary of 25 games across the tournament here on 5 Live and Sports Extra on BBC Sound. You'll be able to hear all of England and Wales's games on 5 Live, and England's first game of Euro 2025 as the defending champions will be here on 5 Live, 8 p.m. on Saturday. So we'll be back with Gilly, with Karen, with Vicky in a few minutes' time. First, though, let's pause for the latest BBC News with Nick Qureshi.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Organisers of the Glastonbury Festival say they're appalled by chants of death to the Israeli military instigated by the rap duo Bob Vylan. Police are assessing the performance to see if any criminal investigation is warranted. In the past few minutes, the Prime Minister has said there is no excuse for this kind of appalling hate speech. The UN's nuclear watchdog suggesting Iran could start enriching uranium again in months. The US claims to have destroyed its stockpiles in last weekend's strikes. Robin Grimes, a physics professor at Imperial College London, says the Iranians shouldn't be underestimated.
They could certainly rebuild. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. The question is, from what state? And that's not at all clear. And without the IAEA having inspectors on the ground, it's actually very hard to know for sure just how much damage was really done to the facilities.
A body has been found in the search for a 15-year-old boy who went missing while paddle-boarding in Fife. Emergency services were called to Loch Orr yesterday afternoon. Ministers say a plan to fine supermarkets if they don't meet targets for selling healthy food is an attempt to create the healthiest generation of children in England. How the target's achieved is flexible, with suggestions for stores, including tweaking recipes, running price promotions and redesigning shop layouts. Temperatures across much of southern Europe are still above 40 Celsius. Health and wildfire warnings have been issued because of hot air from North Africa. 2/3 of Portugal is on high alert. Henna Hundal is a delegate to the UN climate change conferences.
They're not actually that rare now because of human-induced climate change. There are many studies confirming that these heat waves are increasing in duration, frequency, and intensity. For example, in 2022, the heat waves that hit the UK, we saw roads actually buckling. So unfortunately, this is becoming an ever-present reality. We just don't have the systems in place to adapt.
Much of the UK is also experiencing a heatwave. Temperatures in London could reach 35 degrees tomorrow. And new rules have come into force in France, making it illegal to smoke on beaches or in parks. The aim is to protect children.
On BBC Sounds. What is Newscast?
There's a simple answer. It's about the news and it's a podcast.
Oh yeah. There is no script, is there?
There may not be a script, but there are facts.
It's like a brainstorm between us all and our colleagues, isn't it?
The wheels are spinning on the news cycle. None of us have ever known anything like it.
This is going to make me sound like such a dweeb. But actually, it's quite fun.
More fun than go to the pub.
Depends who he's with.
Listen to Newscast every day on BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live Sport
with Katie Smith.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
So England leading Jamaica by 3-0 here in Leicester in their final game before they head out to Switzerland for the Women's Euros. Let's check in on action elsewhere before we bring you second half commentary. We're approaching the end of the day in the County Championship, so let's go and get an update from Kevin Howell, who is at the Oval watching Surrey-Durham.
8 overs remain of this opening day, this latest round of matches, and Surrey have had a good day with the bat. 348 for 3. Dan Lawrence on 23, but Dom Sibley 146 not out, but on a really good partnership with Sam Curran for the previous wicket. Before Curran was out for 108, got a little bit greedy, not the greatest of shots, when he was caught by Jimmy Neesham, but still a terrific knock from him. So Surrey, the defending champions, doing well. The current leaders of the championship race are Nottinghamshire. They're away at Somerset. They're chipping away, taking the wickets down there at Taunton. Somerset's latest score I've got is 271 for 6. But the most stunning score comes in the match between Hampshire and Worcestershire in Division 1, where Worcestershire, the bottom team in Division 1, are 427 for 2. Jake Libby's not out on 126, but Adam Hose 249 not out of just 238 deliveries. Thank you for that. You can do that again. Can I do that again? 249 not out of 200. Thank you, of 238 balls. It really does deserve that. 31 fours and 6 sixes. Terrific knock. That's Hampshire versus Worcestershire. The other Division 1 scores: Warwickshire 347 for 5 against Sussex, and Essex 246 for 3 away to Yorkshire. Me and you, we can work together again like that. I enjoyed that. Anyway, sorry, 3:48 for 3. Back to you.
I think it's a perfect partnership, Kevin, which is exactly what you need. Thank you very much. You can catch closing stages across our Sports Extra channels of those matches, the day's play finishing up. Elsewhere today, a couple of other sports lines for you. Chris Eubank Jr. will fight fellow Briton Conor Ben in a rematch. It's going to be in London on the 20th of September. Eubank beat Ben by unanimous decision back in April, 35 years after their fathers met in the ring. Dominic Calvert-Lewin has decided to leave Everton when his contract ends tomorrow. The striker, who's been at the club since he was 19 years old, described it as an incredibly difficult decision. And in rugby league this afternoon, St Helens scored 11 tries to beat Salford 58-0 in Super League. In Formula One, Lando Norris held his nerve and held off his own teammate Oscar Piastri to take victory at the Austrian Grand Prix, his third win of the season. Let's hear it from the race winner then, starting with the moment he thought Piastri was about to get past him.
I mean, he got ahead, so yeah, for sure there was a few moments. I mean, it was certainly not an easy race, especially the first 20 laps. I was a little bit, I was just in a very vulnerable position. You know, I had track position, but he had DRS, and that allowed him to get his battery up and play a lot more attacking. And my battery was pretty flat. I couldn't get the battery back up, and if I did try any more than I was doing, you know, Oscar would have come past even easier. So I was in like just a very fixed, vulnerable position at that first part of the race, and very difficult to get out of it, apart from boxing earlier and just giving myself some freedom to get the pack up, to get the battery up and kind of reset a little bit.
It's all about consistency, a championship campaign. How do you ensure that consistency is what you deliver from now on in?
I mean, for me at the minute, it's the most important thing is my consistency, especially from a Saturday point of view. My Sundays, I've got nothing to worry about, and I just keep doing what I'm doing. But Saturdays, you know, have been my lesser strength.
Is this positive mental attitude?
This weekend was certainly a step in the right direction. So I just need to keep working, keep doing what I'm doing with my team, the people around me, and we go from there.
Lando Norris with Rosanna Tennant after victory at the Austrian Grand Prix. That also means Norris now trails Piastri by just 15 points in the championship, with the British Grand Prix at Silverstone coming up next weekend. You can listen to a full reaction from this weekend's racing in Austria on the Checkered Flag podcast. That'll be available to download later on BBC Sound. Second half commentary to come here at the King Power in a couple of minutes' time. England leading Jamaica 3-0 in their final friendly before the Euros. Following that, though, here on 5 Live from 7:30, a special episode of 606 focusing on fans' ticketing struggles. Justin Morehouse and Tom Gibbs in the hot seats tonight. Hello, gents. So, guessing you want to hear from pretty much everyone.
Yes, good evening. Hello to Tom, we've not spoken yet. He's on the other end of the line. Good evening, Tom.
Hello.
We're going to be talking about ticketing prices and general the way fans are treated these days at Premier League clubs and down the league system as well. You may remember an incredible call they took on 606 at the end of the season. Robbie and Chris, from a heartbroken Manchester United fan who'd been told summarily by an email, one line, that you're being moved. And people around him are being moved. People have been sat in the same seats for 30, 40 years without any consultation. And so tonight we're asking, has local football fan or has the loyal football fan become an afterthought in the modern game? Tom goes up and down the country. He's one of these weirdos who's joining the 92 club. What's your experience been up and down the country, Tom?
Well, I just feel so relieved. The Football League fixtures came out this week. I feel like my life has got meaning again after such a long summer of just the Content World Cup to tide us over. But it varies enormously, doesn't it? I think the thing that I feel slightly cheered about is that most of the grounds I go to, I do see younger people there. And for a long time, I thought the problem might be that at some point football loses its appeal for those young people because basically everything is better than it used to be from a young person's point of view. But staying at home is a more compelling argument than it was in my youth. But there is still clearly a pull on the young from what it means to go to a football match in person. And I think the potential issue with that is that who's going to be able to afford to do that in the years to come? Are we just pricing out a great deal of the country?
So we're talking ticket prices rising season after season, little or no consultation to the fans, aka customers, what's going on. Give us a call. We're expecting it to be a nice one. The number is 0808 5909 693. That's 0808 5909 693. Get your calls in now.
Lovely stuff. Thanks to Justin, to Tom. So 6:06 following the football, 7:30 till 9 this evening. Get your calls in for that. But we've got second half commentary to come here with England leading Jamaica by 3-0. Their final outing before they head over to Switzerland as they go into the Euros as the defending champions. Two former Lionesses with us here at the King Power Stadium, Karen Bardsley and Gilly Flaherty, alongside our commentator Vicky Sparks. And the question, Vicky, as the players re-enter the field here in Leicester, are we going to see any changes from the manager Sarina Wiegman?
Well, not from Sarina Wiegman as far as we can see, but Jamaica have made a change. Vian Sampson, former Arsenal and West Ham player, born in England, former England youth international as well, now playing in Japan, is on for Sadie Adamolekun. So that is their change, the second of the game after they were forced to take their captain off due to injury in the first half. So we'll take you through the full lineups in a moment as Jamaica get us underway. Kayla McKenna, who thought that she'd equalised for Jamaica in their first ever meeting with England, but it was rightly ruled out for an obstruction on goalkeeper Hannah Hampton. England were 1-0 up at the time. They've scored twice more since then. 2 goals for Ella Toone and 1 for Lucy Bronze in this, their final friendly, before they begin their European Championship campaign against France in 6 days' time, as the ball is all the way back with the Jamaica goalkeeper Leah Brooks on her 5th cap for Jamaica and played forward now by one of their substitutes, Cardosa. But England will intercept, and it's all the way back with the captain, Leah Williamson. So Karen Bardsley, Gilly Flaherty, if you were Sarina Wiegman, what would you want to see from your side in this second half?
I think, just keeping the tempo up in terms of the way that England finished. I'd want to see more of that, obviously continuing that success down this left-hand side, utilising, I think, the wide areas a little bit better, particularly down the right would be something I would focus on, just because of the nature of Jamaica's compact low block.
I also just watching them playing then, I also think, for me, if I'm Sarina, I'm saying a clean sheet. Take a clean sheet, make sure that we don't give them a goal, and especially don't make any mistakes that potentially could lead to difficult moments for us, but a clean sheet is huge.
There speaks a former England centre-half. Kira Walsh out to the right-hand side. England playing from right to left in this second half in their all-black kit as Lucy Bronze plays the ball into the penalty area. It's cleared away by Jamaica, who will try and work it up towards the halfway line, and their striker Kayla McKenna. But again, McKenna, her hold-up play is really good, and often Jamaica in those positions, they just want to keep possession. So she steers it back to Amelia Van Zanten out on the left-hand side as Jamaica look to build from the back.
And I think on that point, with McKenna doing so well, they need a natural outlet, don't they, Jamaica? And I think the deeper she drops to try and get on it, she's taking that away, and I think that's something that maybe she can focus on for the remainder of the second half to make Jamaica just a little bit more threatening.
Oh, how they would love to have their record goal scorer, their captain Khadija Shaw, available for this one. She missed the end of the season with Manchester City through injury, and she hasn't been risked for this international break. As England play the ball forward in their all-black kits this evening here in Leicester, it is still very warm. As Jamaica win possession and play it forward through Ingleton. Cleared away by the England captain Leah Williamson, and picked up once more by Jamaica, this time by Simmons, and now collected by Vian Sampson, a substitute who works it out to the left-hand side. And here goes Amelia Van Zanten, a rare foray forward for her. Lucy Bronze does well, anticipates ahead of Amelia Van Zanten's sister, Kiki Van Zanten. And England have the ball down by their own byline, leading by 3-0. We'll take you through the full lineups in a moment. A reminder that England can make 6 changes in this game if Sarina Wiegman wants to have a look at some other players. But this is good pressure from Jamaica. They've won a corner over on that far side. Jamaica playing in their gold kit with the green trim on the sleeves. And England with a bit of defending to do, Karen Bardsley.
I'm going to say something that's probably not very popular at the minute, but that was not really acceptable, I think, from a player like Lucy Bronze, in my opinion. Giving the ball away in those tight areas. I think if you're under pressure and there's no option, just clear your lines a little bit, because you will get pressured and you will get punished against better opposition.
Well, they have already conceded from a set piece, England, a goal that was rightly ruled out by VAR for an obstruction on Hannah Hampton. Jamaica whip it in low. That's a poor delivery. They did something really clever from the set piece, the way they worked it in the first half, but that from Amelia van Zanten was poor. But she's got it back on this left-hand side, now just outside the penalty area, moving into a central position. She thought about the shot, little deflection as the ball heads in towards the penalty area and collected over on this far side. Alessia Russo sliding in, trying to make the block. She doesn't get a touch on it according to the officials. And Jamaica's Cameron Simmons not too happy about that, but Russo putting her body in the way, and the ball goes behind for an England goal kick. Something we will keep an eye on with Alessia Russo in this second half is that she went down in the first half with a little issue and was holding her ankle down on the byline, and there were several times in the first half that she just kept touching the ankle. So she started this second half. You would think if there was any question at all, then Serena Wiegmann would have hauled her off at half time, because you're not going to risk her when you've got 6 days to go until a massive opener at the European Championships against France. But we will just keep an eye on Russo, of course, who will be England's main striker at the European Championships this summer. Here goes Lauren Hemp down the left-hand side. She's challenged well by Tiffany Cameron, who clears out for an England throw.
I think on that point, in terms of preventing players from getting injured, there's several players on here that I frankly would quite like to see get substituted as soon as possible. The likes of Georgia Stanway and Lauren Hemp, just make sure they get through to that first group game unscathed.
Ball bounces all the way through to the Jamaica goalkeeper Leah Brooks. Julie Flaherty, you're nodding in agreement when Karen said that there.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think also as well, because Cameron's had a bit of a poor first half against Lauren Hemp, and probably that's the first time I think she's got close enough to her to put a tackle in. And you don't want a player who's sort of rolled up because they've had a little bit of a difficult first half to then go, right, I'm going to make a point this second half and I'm going to get touched out and I'm going to leave my mark on her. You've seen, you know what Lauren Hemp can do, do you know what I mean? It's about getting those minutes, but as soon as you think she's had enough, get her off, protect her, because she's going to be a huge player for us in the tournament.
No, and I imagine we probably will see some changes. You got the likes of Alex Greenwood as well, who's just getting those minutes back, and you can see that, Esme Morgan's warming up alongside Chloe Kelly and LJ, which would be terrific to see.
Yeah, Lauren James, when will she come on? Serena Wiegmann saying they are hoping to help her make her comeback today, give her some minutes. She's not played since the start of April. She's been out for nearly 3 months with a hamstring injury. And as England come forward, that ball won't reach Lauren Hemp though. Again, well defended by Tiffany Cameron. I think it's a good point you make, Gilly, about, you don't want a player who's frustrated, having been beaten several times, to leave one in on somebody, as Jamaica win a free kick midway through their own half on this right-hand side. Do I sense there was possibly a bit of speaking from experience there, Gilly?
Maybe, but I also think, if you're going in at half-time, you're 3-0 down, the manager can be saying to you, listen, you've not had a good game. I've been on the end of that as well. You need to do better second half. You need to get touched tired. And you think, well, I'm going to come out and I'm going to do it. But, it's that player, she knows it's a difficult first half. You're going to say, right, I'm going to improve as well the second half. But you don't want to put Lauren Hemp at risk at that.
Here comes Jamaica with Kayla McKenna. Hannah Hampton having to be quick with her feet and does so. Clears the ball out for a Jamaica throw. She's put under a bit of pressure from that back pass there and does the main thing, which is clear the ball out of the penalty area, as England still lead by 3-0. Jess Carter the latest to get a foot in and send it out for a Jamaica throw. This is a good start to the second half from Jamaica, ranked 35 places below England's in the world rankings, but as we say, did level things up with a clever set piece, rightly ruled out by VAR, and that will have given them hope, and this start to the second half will as well, of at least getting on the score sheet as Hannah Hampton comes and claims that well under pressure from Kayla McKenna, the Jamaica number 9.
No, that's the presence I think that you're looking for from an England number 1. She sees a flight, goes and attacks it nice and late, and goes through not only Leah Williamson but the Jamaican striker as well, and I think that will give her backline a lot of confidence going forward.
England in possession, 7.5 minutes gone in this second half. They lead by 3-0 as Chantal Swaby is trying to reach that ball ahead of Alessia Russo and does so. Interesting, we talk about the changes that Serena Wiegmann will make. As in the press conference yesterday at St George's Park, one thing that she did say, and it's unusual for us to give this sort of stuff away, that she's not planning to make a change in this friendly with the keeper to give either Kiara Keating or Anna Morehouse, one of whom will be number 2 and one will be number 3, their international debuts before the tournament, because of course with the retirement of Mary Earps, who was set to be number 2 as the ball goes out of play for a Jamaica throw midway through their own half, Hannah Hampton's going to be number 1. This is only her 16th cap, and Anna Morehouse and Kiara Keating, the other 2 goalkeepers in the squad, have not made their England debuts. Karen, as a former England number 1, if you were in that position of Keating and Morehouse, would you want to just come off the bench and at least get that debut out of the way, or would that not be important to you? Karen's thoughts in a moment as England come forward. Here's Lauren Hemp, goes for the curler, outside the D, it's over the bar, England lead 3-0.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? I think first and foremost, it's a bit of a surprise, I think, that Serena Wiegmann will come out and say something like that. And I think, you've got the likes of Anna Morehouse, who's won a national championship in the NWSL. You've got, Kiara Keating, who is quite, didn't probably have the season she would have liked, but was very, very good 2 seasons ago, winning the Golden Glove. And I just think, why wouldn't you do it now? Like, why would you wait until possibly being into a really emotional, stressful situation in a major tournament? Like, what's the harm in doing that now?
I mean, her argument as Jamaica get us underway and have the ball over on the left-hand side was basically kind of what you've just said. Look, they are used to playing big games. So I don't feel that they need it, essentially. If they are called upon at the Euros, then I'm confident that they're ready. But, it is interesting, isn't it?
No, and I think, look, as a player, regardless of your position, I don't think you ever want a token cap. Do you know what I mean? I can remember years ago, I won't name the player, but, she got substituted on with literally 30 seconds to go just so she could get into a milestone. And you just think, that kind of just makes it more pointless. It doesn't give it the credibility that you want it. So I think perhaps maybe that's what she meant. I don't know, but I think you might as well give them the opportunity to play. I mean, what is Hannah Hampton really going to take from playing against a team that plays on transition? She's not really touched the ball loads, so I think it's a good opportunity.
Here goes Alex Greenwood down the left-hand side. England leading by 3-0 here in Leicester on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. 10 minutes gone in this second half in this final friendly before they begin the defence of their European crown in Switzerland. You will be able to follow the tournament on 5 Live all the way through, and plenty of games on BBC 1 and 2 as well. As Kira Walsh's challenge, just to say as well, to give Serena Wiegmann the full what she said context. She did say that she wants to focus on Hannah. That was one of the reasons as well that she would rather Hannah Hampton played a full game against Jamaica rather than coming off with 10 minutes to go. But interesting one. Here is Alessia Russo inside the penalty area. Pulls the ball back to Kira Walsh, and now Leah Williamson midway through the Jamaica half. England looking for this 4th goal as they work it out to the right hand side, and Lucy Bronze plays it in. Russo's trying to get on the end of it, and she does, but it was one of those ambitious kind of scissor kicks as she tried to rotate her body. She feels it got blocked on the way through. Referee says no, it's a Jamaica goal kick.
I still think England can do a bit better in terms of circulating the ball around the edge of the area and kind of really pulling this Jamaican midfield and backline apart a little bit more. They look really comfortable. They don't look like they're particularly being stretched at the moment. And I think Alessia Russo, has obviously been in such fine form that Jamaica know that she's clearly the focal point of England's attack. So how can England be a bit more dynamic in and around the area instead of just lumping balls into the box?
Kaylee McKenna definitely the focal point of Jamaica's attack. She's well dispossessed there by Leah Williamson, and that shows the confidence she has in Hannah Hampton there. Williamson, she played quite a tricky back pass, looping up, wasn't it? And Hampton did really well. Just talk us through that control on the byline there.
No, of course. I mean, listen, Leah Williamson plays in a quite high bouncing ball, off target, I may add. But Hannah Hampton deals with the ball from Williamson really well, even though she's got the Jamaican striker charging her down, so she takes the touch away from danger and just plays it nonchalantly, and it's great composure from her. And perhaps going back on my earlier point, that is something that she adds to this England team and that she continues to develop in terms of those connections with the back line.
So England in possession. Let's take you through those lineups. Hampton in goal, the back four of Bronze, Williamson, Greenwood and Carter. Ahead of them Walsh and Stanway, with Mead, Toon and Hemp supporting Russo up front. Toon with a brace and Bronze also on the score sheet. And that is why England lead by 3-0 as they are still in possession. Down the left hand side they go. Hemp digs it forward, looking for the run of Jess Carter, once again getting forward from left back. She's challenged by Cardosa. Ball goes out of play for a throw. Georgia Stanway screaming for that throw to be taken quickly by Lauren Hemp, but Hemp instead steers it back to Alex Greenwood. Now Stanway gets on the ball and plays it back to Leah Williamson, just outside the centre circle. Williamson, lovely pass through to the edge of the area, and it's through now to Stanway. Really good save, but on the follow-up, Toon sees her effort blocked, and Jamaica survive. It still stays at 3-0 to England, but they're coming again. Let fly from the edge of the area. But it's blocked once more by Jamaica. Russo laying it off. They're all queuing up to have a go here. Georgia Stanway, what a go! 4-0 England, and Stanway with a big smile, a big clenched fist and a big punch into the air, because she smashed that home. No chance there for goalkeeper Leah Brooks. And England are heading off to the Euros in style. They lead Jamaica by 4-0.
And boy, did she smash that with some authority. It looks like a year's frustration has just come out in that strike. She absolutely belts it inside the area beyond Brooks in the Jamaican goal. She's got no chance, but it's bouncing around. It's not cleared properly by Jamaica. A couple shots on target just before that phase of play, but she's alert to it. That's the thing that I really like about Georgia Stanway.
I was just counting as well. You had Mead who had a go at it, then you had Toon had a go at it, then it falls to Stanway. I mean, it's a rocket into the back of the net. I don't think Jamaica deal with it defensively at all. They don't do well enough. There's, I'd say, probably 2 or 3 players around Georgia Stanway, and they still allow her to get the strike off. But incredible from Stanway to find the space with being so surrounded by Jamaican players to rifle it into the back of the net.
So England leading by 4-0, approaching the hour mark of this game here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. And it looks as though Serena Wiegmann is preparing a triple change. Esme Morgan, Lauren James and Chloe Kelly look as though they are preparing to come on as Lauren Hemp wins a free kick midway through the Jamaica half. And we might see our first booking of the game as well. We have done so. It is for Naya Cordosa. And Jamaica preparing to make, I should say, a double change as well. But England may well take this set piece first. Karen Bardsley.
And I think that's the thing that we were exactly talking about, wasn't it, Gilly? I think the danger there of Cardoza not really up to the pace of the game and flying in for a couple of challenges. I think one on Jess Carter as well earlier. So something to keep an eye on.
So England stand over this set piece. Beth Mead is there. Lauren Hemp as well. They lead by 4-0 against the team ranked 35 places below them. They always were going to be favourites for this game, but so much this is about performance. This is about players staking their claim in the starting 11s for that France game, as Mead plays the free kick short. Here's Stanway, 25 yards out. Plays it off to the right-hand side, and Russo back to Stanway once more. Plays the ball into the area. Hemp was in there. Jamaica managed to get it away through Tiffany Cameron. England trying to latch onto it and won't quite do so over on this left-hand side, but the last touch was a Jamaican one, so England will have a throw. And here comes this double change for Jamaica first of all. So Natasha Thomas and Rihanna Blades are preparing to come on. And let's see who makes way. Firstly, it will be Atlanta Primus, daughter of the former Premier League and Portsmouth player Linvoy Primus. She's the one who plays in England's former England Youth International as well. And the second player to come off is Kiki Van Zanten, and we haven't quite, other than in flashes, seen the promise of what we thought she might be able to provide in an attacking sense for Jamaica. Indeed, she's done some good work defensively, to be fair.
No, there were some threats, obviously. I think was going down the left-hand side a few times for Jamaica, but yeah, not quite, I think, the output that they would have hoped. But just a funny one here, Vicky. Atlanta Primus actually went to my university in America, Cal State Fullerton, back in the day, so just quick shout out to a fellow Titan. Nice to see her representing on the international stage.
So, double change for Jamaica. Here comes that triple change for England. So, Toon is one of those coming off, Lauren Hemp as well, and Lauren James makes her comeback from that hamstring injury. She's been out since the start of April. Alex Green with the other player to come off as well. So Morgan, James and Kelly on, Greenwood, Toon and Hemp off. But Karen Bardsley, this is the moment that these England fans have been waiting for. This is the moment that Serena Wiegmann's been waiting for. Lauren James back from that hamstring injury, and you know, when she did it and when all the talk before the squad announcement was the question was, might she play some part in the knockout stages of the Euros? To have her back before the Euros actually start is a huge boost, as Jess Carter has possession for England on this left hand side.
No, it really is. I'll hand it back to you, Vicky.
As Chloe Kelly plays the ball into the area, Lucy Prom's run not quite timed to perfection that time. She scored with a super run and a header from close range in the first half, but that time on the stretch can't collect. Ball goes behind for a Jamaica goal kick, and England still lead 4-0.
No, I think to your point about Lauren James, it's a really crucial time for her to get the right minutes in terms of getting up to game speed, playing against an opposition there you have to move the ball quickly, because if you don't, like, they're going to leave a challenge on you as well. Just finding those connections that Serena Wiegmann's always talking about, but the creativity that Lauren James offers just to create something out of absolutely nothing. It's magic. And we saw, didn't we, at the World Cup in Australia, the dramas around Sam Kerr and her fitness and when she could actually get into the squad. It just felt a bit too late, so it's important that Lauren James gets that time before the tournament starts.
And here she is on the ball, plays it forward, looking for the run of Beth Mead, who plays the ball into the area. It's cleared away by Jamaica, but they're making a real hash of clearing that eventually. It's steered behind by Rihanna Blades for a corner to England. And Chloe Kelly will jog over to this near side and get ready to take it. But again, you talk about the England fans and the things that they can latch onto here inside the King Power Stadium here in Leicester, and certainly the introduction of Lauren James has given everybody a lift. England leading by 4-0, approaching the halfway point in the second half, and looking for more against this Jamaica side as the corner will be swung in from this left-hand side by Chloe Kelly, who was the heroine of Wembley 3 years ago. It's a good delivery and it's blocked on the line by Jamaica and cleared away. Well, the header so easily could have been a 5th goal for England, as Kelly won't keep that ball that's worked out to the left-hand side in, and the ball goes out of play for a Jamaica throw. But it's really good defending on the goal line. Georgia Stanway meeting that ball with a powerful header, but Amelia Van Zanten in the right place at the right time, as Jamaica again under real pressure clear away from just outside their own penalty area.
I think it was a bit too easy for Georgia Stanway to win that first contact.
Here she goes, lays it off to Alessia Russo. Russo's ball across. Beth Mead's come short, and I'm going to bring in Gilly Flaherty on that in a moment, because it's something that was driving Gilly a bit mad in the first half. The way that England are just not quite dealing with those sort of connections and those balls into the area that are good, but they just vacate exactly the wrong space at exactly the wrong time. England still coming forward, leading by 4-0. Here's Lauren James. Oh, a lovely ball in. Really brave goalkeeping. Beth Mead went flying in there, and she's been injured, Mead. Goalkeeper for Jamaica, Leah Brooks, did really well there and was brave, but it's Mead who's come off worst. Ball's gone out of play. The referee has stopped play, and Mead now has rolled onto her back and is grimacing and wincing. So, Karen, firstly, talk us through this goalkeeping here and potential repercussions for Beth Mead, who is up to her feet, we should say, so hopefully no repercussions at all.
I mean, by the way, Lauren James making some instant impact with a delicious cross into the area for Beth Mead. It was teasing, and that's exactly what brought the goalkeeper Brooks out of her goal. You know, it was brave in terms of essentially a 50-50 in midair, and I think Mead only had eyes for the ball, didn't she? She was only trying to get on the end of it, but hopefully that doesn't look like there was some real torque going through her back at the end there, and I hope that doesn't have any repercussions going forward.
Yeah, she's really impressed, Leah Brooks. She's made some really good saves in this game, plays college football in the US, as part of the squad that went to the World Cup in 2023, although she didn't play. As England's leading by 4-0. Work it out to this right hand side. Here is Mead once more, and James will volley over from 14 yards out.
I mean, listen, that strike is on its way to the moon, isn't it? But, you know, touching on Brooks, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, please, she went to the University of North Carolina, is that correct? Is that where she's still playing? Well, I mean, obviously a lot of women, Alessia Russo went there, so it's a high quality program. It's a very competitive program, and I think, you know, she's a very young goalkeeper, and she's got some a great future ahead of her by all means.
So Jamaica in possession, clearing away. Jess Carter just got a little deflection on that. Manages to steer the ball away. Interesting, Julie. I want to, because I promised I want to bring you in on that movement, but I also want to ask you about Niamh Charles and the fact that she hasn't come on yet, and what that might say about the left back position, and whether that is going to be Jess Carter's as a starter, as Esme Morgan almost loses possession there, closed down by Natasha Thomas, but it's all the way back with Hannah Hampton. But let's just start with that England movement, because it has been a theme in terms of those crosses that come into the box, and England's players suddenly seem to be in the wrong positions at the wrong time.
I'll let England off on that one, just purely because Russo got dragged out from the centre and was the one doing the cross. So Mead has done what she should have done, which is filled then the gap. So what we really wanted then was Lucy Bronze to be coming up from the right back position. But yeah, I mean, it is something that was more evident in the first half, that, you know, having that person. And I think when you have someone like Lucy Bronze in the team who always wants to get forward, sometimes there's that, well, if she's not there, then we need to make sure that our winger is there doing that job as such. But yeah, I'll let England off that time.
Very kind of you. There's Lauren James picks it up midway through the Jamaica half as the first Mexican wave of the afternoon goes around just in front of us midway through the second half. The red and white flags of England briefly being raised by the 28,000 fans who are inside the King Power Stadium here this evening. Give or take as Leah Williamson plays it forward. Beth Mead is dispossessed. That was a little bit of loss of concentration there for me, but she's done what she so often does and wins the ball straight back. She's so furious with herself when she makes a mistake, and she's tenacious, and she's got the ball back for England, who are coming forward now. Chloe Kelly urged to shoot, deflection behind England corner.
England are really pushing. You can see the determination from Chloe Kelly as well. She really wants to make an impact with the time that she has on the pitch, and I don't think she takes this for granted at all, but she combines well with Stanway in central areas and just was fortunate to get a shot off really in a corner and another opportunity to score, and I think her deliveries have been very good for Arsenal and for England, so let's hope that the likes of Alessia Russo can get on the end of it.
Here comes this corner, swung into the edge of the 6-yard box. It's cleared away before Leah Williamson can reach it. Kira Walsh trying to keep it alive. Lucy Bronze gets a foot in as well. Walsh spins the ball out to the right-hand side, but miscued it. Chloe Kelly gets a foot in. Jamaica trying to latch onto it midway through their own half. England leading by 4-0 here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds in this final friendly before England head to the Euros and look to defend their European Championship title. That's huge applause because the Jamaican fans have got involved in the Mexican wave. As England ball into the penalty area, there'll be applause here if Lauren James sticks this in. Goes for the curler, Russo's there, flag stays down. 5-0 England. And that's what Lauren James can do. We've seen her loop them in from there on so many occasions, but that time the connection was there for England. And Lauren James on her comeback provides the assist for Alessia Russo to put England 5-0 up against Jamaica.
And that's the celebratory atmosphere we're looking for in a send-off to a major tournament. It's really nice movement from this pocket of space here. I think Lauren James just receives the ball just in the half space. She sees where she has the opportunity to cut back, and Alessia Russo just pulls off the back shoulder of the Jamaican defender. It's a delightful teasing cross as well. Well held up. And I'll be honest, that must be more difficult to miss. It's a great finish from Alessia Russo. And what a start for Lauren James. Welcome back.
I also think as well, Vicky, that I think with Lauren James, if that had been another player, I think they would have put the ball across the box straight away. And then I also think when another player maybe had cut back, I think they would have gone to the edge of the box, not gone the reverse and gone to Russo hanging off the back post. And I think it's an incredible ball in.
Well, Jamaica could be in behind here as they look for a consolation. We've still got 19 or so minutes to go. They trail by 5-0 here in Leicester against the Lionesses, but they're into the penalty area now. Good block away from Jess Carter as Natasha Thomas let fly, and it's a corner to Jamaica, which will be taken from this near side. We're saying as well, James is playing in the 10 at the moment. And of course we've seen her play so well there for England on many occasions. We know she can play out wide, we know she can play in the 10, but interesting to see her very much in this 10 position at the moment.
I also think that's her strongest position though. I know sometimes she's accommodated on the wing sometimes, also for Chelsea too, but for me her strongest position is in that 10 where it's difficult for a defender. Do I go, do I stay, who necessarily takes on the defending side of James?
Van Zanten to swing the ball in. Here is Lauren James making that interception in the penalty area and playing the ball forward as Chloe Kelly races up towards halfway. Kelly has really come on. Looks as though she has a spring in her step and that desire to impress. And that's it. This is the last friendly before England begin their European Championship campaign against France. 6 days' time, Saturday the 5th of July, 8 o'clock kick-off, full commentary on 5 Live. Do join us for that as Jamaica clear away at the back out for an England throw. And I guess that's it as well. You know, when we talk about the rotation of positions in the first half in particular, even if you start Lauren James in the 10, if you give her that freedom to roam, then she can pop up on the right, she can pop up on the left, other players can, you know, slot in there as well.
I think that's what's so great about this England attack at the moment, is there is such fluidity and freedom. You know, as soon as they cross into that attacking phase, it's like Serena Wiegman's literally just said, yeah, go and use your individual skill, go and create, see what you can do. And that freedom, I think, is exactly what Lauren James needs. She thrives under that. She doesn't need to be restricted.
Here goes Beth Mead down the right hand side. England leading by 5-0. Momentum And they're building it ahead of that match with France. A hugely difficult group for the European Championships as they have the ball just outside the penalty area. Stanway drives just past the post. But this is lovely play from England, lovely interchange of passes with Chloe Kelly and Georgia Stanway, and England very much in their stride.
Yeah, absolutely. You see, the likes of Chloe Kelly's slightly inverting. She's a bit more narrow, so that would suggest that the overlap's going to come from fullbacks, but that means that she can connect with the midfield a lot better, a lot quicker, and you see those sharp passes. So Georgia Stanway, quick 1-2, gets the opportunity because it's shifted the defence and then gets the shot away.
So another triple change for England. You can make 6 changes because it is a friendly international. So Kira Walsh, Alessia Russo, 2 of the players coming off. Grace Clinton, Niamh Charles and Aggie Beever-Jones coming on, and Lucy Bronze is the last player to come off as well. So this is interesting. In terms of the battle for left back, Jess Carter is still on the pitch for England and Lucy Bronze has been taken off. So Niamh Charles has gone to slot in for now at right back. Let's see if England have a slight switch of formation or whether she's just going to play at right back. But can we read into this that Jess Carter is going to be the starting left back for England at the Euros?
I mean, yeah, I think that's pretty safe to say. I think she'll be the starting left back at the Euros. But I think it's also good to have that mix of, listen, Lucy Bronze she's a machine. She's got a huge engine on her, but she's also getting a little bit older, and she's had a spell of injuries as well, so you have to look after her. So it's about having that player that's going to be able to come on and give her the chance to have a little bit of a rest now and again.
Aggie Beever-Jones almost in behind, but again it's good anticipation from the Jamaica goalkeeper Leah Brooks. Jamaica have a player down inside their own penalty area. It's Chantal Swaby, so the referee just checking to see if she's going to be okay, but no, she's going to need a bit of treatment. So 15 minutes plus added time to play, England leading by 5-0. If we think ahead to that opening match against France, Karen and Gilly, what are the key learnings, do you think, that Serena Wiegmann will take from this game?
I think first and foremost, England will need to be tidier on the ball, in terms of making sure that they're not giving any opportunities to France, to get ahead in the game. Going to force France to create their own opportunities to score. So I think first and foremost, that's what they're going to have to take. Organize behind the ball, as I think Gilly alluded to earlier. So making sure that you're constantly tucking around, thinking if play does break down, am I in a position to go in effect? I think the substitutions is still interesting. I'm not sure, if I would say Serena's got it entirely nailed. We'll see if that movement of Niamh Charles over to right back continues throughout the course of the tournament. Because I'm still surprised, to be honest, that Maya Letitia didn't come on. I thought perhaps that would be the natural substitution. Gilly?
I mean, yeah, I agree with you completely. I think on the defensive side of things too, I think, listen, France are going to be a huge level up from Jamaica and what happens with them going forward and the attacking threat that they bring. So I think not giving the ball away unnecessary and causing your own problems. I think that's been the history of England. I think a lot of the time is, yeah, you do have some great teams who come up against England who naturally break them down, but a lot of the time England give away the ball sloppy and force possession, and then they get punished for it. So I think having that improvement behind the ball defensively and just not giving anything silly away.
So Chantal Swaby is back up to her feet, and we are going to restart with Leah Brooks of Jamaica. Now Swaby, she's being told to go off the pitch because the medical staff have come on, so she's going to have to walk all the way round and come back on at halfway. And Leah Brooks is just being spoken to by our referee Francisca Wildfoot, and we'll get back underway. So Aggie Beever-Jones, one of the players who's just come on for England, looking to close down the run of Brooks. Brooks now will bowl the ball out and clear it up over the halfway line. England leading by 5-0 here against Jamaica with 13 minutes plus added time to play, and it's a lovely ball by Lauren James looking for the rung of Aggie Beever-Jones. The Jamaica defence get themselves in a bit of a muddle there, but Beever-Jones is forced wide, lays it off to Grace Clinton, now receives it back on, lovely little back heel to Chloe Kelly. The ball is cleared away out of play, and Chantal Swaby is ready to come back on. Throw has gone Jamaica's way. Jess Carter was ready to take it for England, but in the end Ball has gone out of play for a Jamaica throw. So England's leading by 5-0. Karen Bardsley.
I love that from Lauren James. Like, she's ever since she's been on the pitch, she's absolutely changed the momentum and flow of this game. She's been really creative, but the fact that Swaby's come off, I think Lauren James recognized it immediately and thought, yeah, okay, I'm going to put this Jamaican backline under some pressure, play her down, and then you nearly get a little opportunity on target because of it. So Jilly touched on this earlier around just her intelligence on the ball and her tactical nous. This is why Serena Wiegman needs her in this squad.
She is back on the pitch now, Chantal Swaby, as the ball is played in. A brilliant save. Aggie Beever-Jones was there on the edge of the 6-yard box. And Leah Brooks, who despite her side trailing by 5-0, has really put in a good performance, made some really good saves. That was probably the pick of the bunch. Beever-Jones, close range, really, really good goalkeeping from the player who's only winning her 5th cap for Jamaica today. And England take the corner short. They take it quickly. Karen's thoughts on that in a moment, because that was a really super stop. And England working the ball down this left-hand side with Chloe Kelly. It's pulled back now to Beth Mead. Sent it in right-footed, and the run at the far post again. Brooks is there to make the save. England really should have scored and made it 6. But Brooks denying Aggie Beever-Jones once more. That time Beever-Jones perhaps could have done a little bit better as England continue to push. That effort is cut out before it can reach Lauren James. Jamaica trying to get a foot on the ball. Chloe Kelly sticks a foot in and does well, wins it. Will just keep it in. Jamaica will clear away through Tiffany Cameron, but can't retain possession. England really pushing for this 6th goal, with 10 minutes of normal time plus added time to play here in Leicester on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Here is Niamh Charles, forward to Lauren James, who turns 360, advancing now towards the Jamaica penalty area. She's still going, Lauren James. Chloe Kelly has it now, goes for the curler, and Leah Brooks is behind it once again. Well, just talk us through. That's 2 really, really good saves that Brooks has made there from Aggie Beever-Jones.
The first one for me was probably the highlight, to be honest. But again, it's Lauren James moving into a wide area and spotting the run from Aggie Beever-Jones. But Brooks gets central. She tracks the cross with just slight movement, readjusts, and then she gets set and then just reacts really quick with an outstretched hand to the right. And so she palms it into a good area as well. I think that's really important to say. But the reactions from Brooks today, in my experience, a game like this, okay, yeah, you're 5-0 down, but you just got to keep making saves because you've already lost, so you just got to keep trying to do the best you can with what's in front of you.
Here come England, still pushing for this 6th goal to give them a real send-off in style. It has been a performance that I'm sure will feel Ghana's momentum ahead of that opener against France in 6 days' time. Listen to it on 5 Live and BBC Sounds from 8 o'clock, Saturday the 5th of July. As England begin the defence of their European crown. Carter plays the ball into the area. Jamaica make first contact. It's cleared out of the box. They're so deep, the gold and green shirts, and they've got to play it down as well. Who is just gingerly getting back up to her feet. Ingleton, we're trying to, but she can't, and the referee's going to have to stop play again here. So Niamh Ingleton with an issue just outside the penalty area. So again, play is stopped, and it's all very stop-start here for England, who've made all 6 substitutions that they can. I think it's cramp here for Ingleton, but the trainer is on. So 6:06 coming up for us on 5 Live after this game from 7:30. Justin Morehouse and Tom Gibbs talking about ticket prices, fans being priced out of football. Maybe you've got a story about that. Maybe it's something that people close to you have been affected by. Maybe you've made the decision not to follow your team so much because of ticket prices, or maybe it's something that actually you think your club is doing something well with and making it affordable for fans. Whatever your story, whatever your perspective. 6:06 coming up at 7:30 on 5 Live from BBC Sounds. 08085 909 693. As the players come over, well, all the talk is going to be, or a lot of the talk is going to be about Lauren James's comeback. And Karen and Gilly, just give us your thoughts on what we've seen from her in this little cameo appearance.
I completely agree with Gilly about where her best position is. I think centrally, she's so unpredictable. She's got such great control, so she can go left, she can go right, she can turn you inside out. She's got such great control. She can lift the ball when you least expect it, and then she's happy to move out wide, put delicious balls into the area. She'll drive, she'll get in tight spaces, she'll turn and receive and go forward. So she's so creative. I think she's just a wonderful threat for England.
The only thing I would say, and I think something that she's really improved on this year, is the defensive duties and the defensive side of things. I know sometimes when you have a 10, you can sort of give them that bit of that free roll to go, listen, attacking wise, do what you want to do, but she probably won't be able to afford to not have to do that defensive side of things. So that's a big improvement that she's had done this year before her injury, was that she was doing really well for Chelsea. So hopefully she can bring that as well into England.
So we are back underway. Ingleton is back up to her feet. Let's just see if she's back on the pitch as well. Just keeping an eye on her as England come down the right-hand side with Niamh Charles. It's cut back to Lauren James. And James will play it to Georgia Stanway. Back to James. She's urged to shoot. Oh, lovely bit of footwork. It's cleared away eventually by Tiffany Cameron out of play. But again, you can just hear the excitement in this stadium as Ingleton does now come back onto the pitch whenever Lauren James gets on the ball.
It's great, isn't it? Like, she just moves, gives a pass, gives a pass, and then with the sole of her foot just creates a little opening just to play. Fantastic.
Here come England down this right-hand side, back into a central position with Esme Morgan, leading by 5-0 against Jamaica as the ball is played into the area. James is there, but it's headed away by Cardosa, and Esme Morgan steers it all the way back to Hannah Hampton as the Mexican wave disparately goes around to in front of us. Oh, they're getting the hang of it now. There it goes. As England go down the right-hand side. Options inside the area, and there is the 6th goal. Aggie Beaver-Jones has been denied twice by Leah Brooks, but that time she gets the better of the Jamaica goalkeeper. And England hit Jamaica for 6 and send themselves off to the Euros in style. It's England 6, Jamaica 0.
It's a long busting run from Niamh Charles as well down England's right-hand side, and she was so determined to get on the end of that and put a ball in for Aggie Beaver-Jones sprinting towards the Jamaican goal. And it's a simple finish for me, but it's on target. That's all it needs. She gets a good connection with her foot and just guides it onto target. Nice simple finish. What do you think, Jill?
I also noticed as well with Beaver-Jones is she was, as the ball's going wide to Niamh Charles, she's not busting her gut straight away to get into the box. She's holding it. And as soon as then the ball comes, she's gone. And the change of pace, the defender can't get there. So those 2 or 3 yards that she's been able to get away from the defender has then helped her really get that clear finish into the goal.
I think that's what makes her really special, isn't it? Is like she knows exactly what she's good at. She knows how to get advantage wherever she can against her defenders. And I think, let's have it right as well, the Jamaican fullbacks have had a bit of a nightmare today. They've had their hands full.
And a real smile breaking out on the face of Serena Wiegman, applauding that goal from Aggie Beaver-Jones. Georgia Stanway has absolutely barged off the ball there by Natasha Thomas. Free kick to England, no surprises there. It's taken quickly by Stanway. He's a tough cookie. She's up to her feet. England leading by 6-0. And as the ball is into the area, it's cleared away by Ingleton and picked up once more by Esme Morgan. And you've got to look at Beaver-Jones' stats now. I mean, 5 goals and what is now 8 caps for England. That hat-trick against Portugal at Wembley 2 games ago. And I think this is one of the really interesting things about this game. What was the substitution plan going to be from Serena Wiegman as Lauren James has it over on the right-hand side? Because it was so key at the Euros, in particular 3 years ago, to keep that regularity of substitutes that so often impacted the game as Grace Clinton's ball forward is cleared away by Jamaica. And I think it's telling that Beaver-Jones has come on today, and the likes of Adjumang, for example, who a really exciting 19-year-old making the squad, hasn't been used. Now, that doesn't mean she won't be used during the Euros, but again, we know that Wiegman is a player that likes to stick with the same starting lineup where she can, and often it's the same substitutes as well, because it's all part of this consistent game plan as Chloe Kelly has the ball down by the corner flag.
No, I think you're right. I mean, as much as everyone wants to see Michelle Adjumang score an absolute worldie again, you know, getting this strategy down, I think, is going to be key in just understanding, you know, this is what it's going to be like. This is what to expect if I do need something different. Serena Wiegman has shown that she's capable of changing in the moment. What I always think is going to be interesting is, now that she's got such a force, will she end up playing with 2 strikers at all?
It's a question. As Chloe Kelly swings this corner for England in. It's well met by Jamaica. I tell you what, Ingleton is still struggling with cramp or whatever injury it is that she has, and the referee has said to her, look, if you're injured, you need to go off and get some treatment. So she's hobbling around just outside her own penalty area, trying to play on as Jamaica defend what is now just wave after wave of England pressure as Lauren James picks it up again, scoops the ball into the area. Beth Mead's in there, little coming together there with the defender, and the decision goes in the favour of Tiffany Cameron, and Beth Mead moves away as there will be another double change for Jamaica, and no surprise here to see Ingleton come off. She clearly is struggling, and she will be replaced by Jade Bailey, player who has a huge amount of WSL experience, currently playing with Sheffield United, who were relegated from the Women's Championship this season, but former Arsenal, Chelsea and Liverpool player. And Rickshire Walker is also going to come on. She will replace Cameron Simmons. So Jamaica have made their full complement of substitutes now. And as we tick towards full time, 90 seconds plus added time to play, England leading by 6 goals to nil. Karen Bardsley.
When I was going through the squad, I was looking at some of the players and I was thinking, Jade Bailey, I recognise that name. And not only is she at Sheffield United, but back in the 2012 Olympics, I was at we were all watching the opening ceremony together, and I was like, who is that lucky girl on the boat with David Beckham carrying the torch? And I was like, oh my God, it's her.
It was her. As Jamaica lose possession, racing towards that England penalty area. That substitute has just come on, Rickshire Walker, well dispossessed. Neil Williamson will bring it away for England. So one of the things that we picked out for this second half was keeping a clean sheet. Gilly Flaherty, England are edging towards that. 30 seconds of normal time plus added time to play, and that really, I think now especially, will be such a key thing for Sarina Wiegman, not to concede in the last few minutes and to go into that France game being able to say, yep, defensively we survived a VAR check that could have led to an equaliser for Jamaica, but in the end we have managed to shut them out as Grace Clinton comes forward. England looking for a 7th goal. Here's Aggie Beaver-Jones just inside the penalty area, pulls it back to Jess Carter, who lays it off to Georgia Stanway. Stanway, one of the goal scorers for England this evening, will spray it out to the right hand side, and Lauren James, here she goes down the right hand side as we see 5 minutes of added time. A board that very quickly disappeared, but yes, 5 minutes of added time. So England have a player down now just outside, it's Beth Mead, just outside the penalty area, and the referee stopped play here because this could be a potential head injury for Mead. So a little bit of concern here, and the referee asking the medical staff for England to come on as we see a replay of this incident. Well, is it her head? It's difficult to see from that angle exactly what issue there is. Oh, I tell you what, that doesn't necessarily look good. It's her knee. She's on the stretch there, Beth Mead, and she's gone down holding her knee, and she has not moved. She has her face down in the turf. The medical staff are on, and Sarina Wiegman is looking grave on the touchline. I mean, she's conscious, Mead, but she looks not happy at all. She's now rolled onto her back, and the medical staff are just pressing that knee. I mean, it is just one of those things, isn't it? As soon as a player goes down, and we can't see from here, we've got no idea how serious this injury is. The medical staff are moving the leg up and down, but particularly for a player like Beth Mead, who's had an ACL in the past, which is why she missed the World Cup in 2023, this would be the absolute nightmare ending to a game that's gone very well indeed for England.
Yeah, I'm really hoping it's not what it looks like. She did take some contact directly to the knee, so let's hope that it's just that pain that she's feeling. But she's back on her feet now. The medical team will just give her some time to see how she feels, but I think precautions should be taken.
I think it just seems like it's a bit of an initial knock. I mean, she's running off, but you know, like most players, they will be firm in it anyways. But yeah, I mean, she seems to be moving on the sideline as well, to the cheers of the England fans too. So let's hope it's just the initial contact really of the knee to knee.
Breathe a sigh of relief, everyone. Beth Mead's back on, and gosh, it's just one of those things. But I think that's a really good point. There was contact in ACLs, of course. So often non-contact injuries, it's where they go down and no one's anywhere near them. So Mead is back on, and you think no way she would be if there was any risk that this was serious. So she's back on, she's moving well, and we go again. England play the ball into the penalty area. Nice touch from Grace Clinton, gets the ball away, but it's a low shot, dribbles towards the Jamaica goalkeeper Leah Brooks, and she's behind it. England 6, Jamaica 0. Karen Bardsley.
Yeah, I think England will feel, pretty good about this second half performance. I think the additions of Aggie Beaver-Jones, particularly Lauren James as well, has really changed the complexion, I think, of how I felt about this game. And I think they can feel really positive, I think, going forward, even though Jamaica didn't really offer much in terms of a test.
Yeah, I think in the first half, I think Jamaica looked more dangerous. I think the second half they've done nothing, in all honesty. And I think this is probably a good game for England to have, really, because they've got tested a little bit in the first half, but then they've gained composure and control of it and been able to make important substitutions as well.
Yeah, the celebratory air of the send-off that's going to happen after the match. The Lionesses and Serena Wiegmann are going to be introduced formally to the crowd so that they can get the celebration and the send-off and the good luck wishes. A real focus on that after this match as they look to go and defend their European crown. And the fans going through the repertoire now. Sweet Caroline, you'll be able to hear all around us in the stands here at the King Power as England in possession with Leah Williamson leading Jamaica by 6-0 in this final friendly before they begin the defence of that European crown. And as England retain possession just inside the Jamaica half, where are England then when it comes to this position ahead of the Euros? As Chloe Kelly goes for goal from 25 yards and flies over the bar. But okay, looking at this game, but also looking at the Nations League campaign, looking at where England are, how good a position are they in? How healthy a position are they in terms of performances, in terms of confidence going into these Euros?
I think, frankly, they should be pretty confident. I really like the blend of experience and youthfulness that this England team have. You know, they're putting the past successes behind them and giving new players an opportunity to write their own history, if you like. And I think that's something really powerful because these young players are just unfazed.
And they could get a 7th goal here. Here's Chloe Kelly, unselfish, finds Meads, and it's deflected in. Big double-fisted salute from Beth Mead as she punches the air. They got a big deflection on the way through. It may go down as an own goal, but Mead's claiming it on the pitch. And England have 7 against Jamaica. And if they wanted momentum, if they wanted confidence heading into the European Championships and looking to defend this European crown, then they've got it in bucket loads here in the sunshine in Leicester. It's England 7, Jamaica 0.
And again, it's Aggie Beaver-Jones leading the way, dropping the back line off and combining well with Chloe Kelly, who finds Beth Mead. And I think there's an element, could she have been a bit more composed? But either way, the shot is on target, deflected into the Jamaican goal. But I think, listen, wrapping this up 7-0, what a way to go into a major tournament.
And there is the full-time whistle. Well, we wanted to see a performance from England. We wanted to see confidence from England. We wanted to see individual displays that give this side belief as they head into the Euros. And Karen Bardsley, Gilly Flaherty, yes, it wasn't perfect. Yes, in the first half, as you say, they were tested. Yes, there were defensive frailties at times that a better side might punish. But overall, we've seen some players shine individually. We've seen 7 goals and we've seen a clean sheet. Not a bad way to head into the European Championships as you look to defend your European crown.
Not at all. I love the winning mentality of this team. I think regardless of what they're facing, they always want to score goals. They have extremely high standards. So this for me is a positive send-off. They've showcased the fact that they were ready to go into a European Championship. As, listen, there's no room because they are going to be facing an incredible side in France.
Yeah, and I think that I'm a defender, so I'm always going to be hot on clean sheet. And I think, 7 goals, a good performance as well. Obviously, Jamaica, I don't really think give them that much of a test, but I think they had a good performance. 7 goals and a clean sheet.
So all eyes now focus on France. 6 days' time, the Lionesses begin their European campaign. We will have full commentary on 5 Live, an 8 o'clock kickoff, Saturday the 5th of July. As the players gather on the pitch, the Jamaica players now shaking hands and high-fiving with the England players. In a few moments' time, they will be sent off in style from the over 25,000 fans that are here inside the King Power Stadium in Leicester. But for now, at full time, it finishes England 7, Jamaica 0.